Sorry, the food. I forgot to turn the food off. Sorry for making you guys hungry. We're back. What's happening, y'all? Another day, another you, another me. It is Age Mythology Saturday night, fight night, the best night of them all. Let's go. Magic Mushroom, 29-cent do. What are you guys up to? Nimo Noom, Sikorex, Asker, or Aski, Asker, Asker. I don't know. What's going on, guys? Josiah in the YouTubes as well. Put a lot of effort into the old unit tier list for today, which was fun. Did take me a while to get that one finished, sorted, out into the ether. Hopefully everybody enjoys that one. I did miss a unit, which is really fucking infuriating because it is the best of the cavalry units by far. It's like not even close. Like when I say it's not even close, it's kind of close. It's better than the raiding cavalry. So it's the best cavalry unit in the game. Gosh darn it. And it also has an ability. Not only is it the best cavalry unit in the game, it's also got an ability, and I fucking missed it. How do I miss it? How? Why? I don't understand. Somebody tell me why I suck. I got the Coyote Warrior in there. Coyote Warrior. I did not get the Jaguar Rider in there. So I got this data now in the thing. I have to go and color code everything again. But oh well. You can't win them all. And that's my story. Thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next one. Is the best cav the Hatyroi? No, the Hatyroi. Wait, did I not talk about the Hatyroi? I don't think I did. The Hatyroi is actually really, 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 really bad until you calculate for the area of effect damage. And that carries the Hatyroi. Without the area of effect damage, that unit is really bad. So one-on-one, it's terrible. But in a pack of archers, it's really good. So if you have your archers and you just put them into spread formation, the Hatyroi is actually like mid compared to every other counter archer unit in the game, or cavalry unit in the game. But yeah. Yeah, I definitely forgot that unit as well. What am I doing? I was doing so well, I thought. I put what can you do? Alrighty. So what are we going to do today? I want to cast a game to kick off the stream. Let's find a game to cast. Are there any games going worth casting? We got Recon and Neymar playing a... Oh, let's watch this one. Wait, let me just double check this. We're going to watch a potential Rappel game. I haven't watched Rappel in a hot minute. So yeah, I'm going to do that. All right. A little cheeky Rappel game. He's playing against Garma Judah, which is an interesting one. It is a China mirror to some degree, but it should be a fun one to watch and all the other good stuff. So let's jump in and check that one. Sikorex, thanks for the 5 gifted subs, my guy. You absolute legend. You are the greatest. And smack, the game turns on because that's what happens. And we watch this game. Wonderful. How you going? Vindicare in the chat. What's happening, my guy? In kind of shitty news, I woke up with a sore neck again. What the hell? We do have ourselves in the bottom of the map. Eyes machining on. Eyes and machine on. Eyes and machine on. Yes. Eyes and machine on. And we've got Garma Judah in the top of the map playing as Huxi. Alrighty. So yeah, I'm just gonna check this game out. We might play some games after this. I don't really know. I haven't really decided what what's in my future for today. We're just gonna vibe it a little bit. But yeah, we can talk about some things while we get into the swing of things and all that other good stuff. So tomorrow, I believe, is the first weekend of the Sat Fat Set Shenanigans. Excuse me, Sat Fat Set Shenanigans, the first weekend of that, which should be very, very interesting. If we turn on the in-game thingamajiggy over here, it has a whole bunch of people who are going to be playing. Divine currently rank 1, Grass rank 2, then Tunison and Mosca, and Jack and Husk Super apparently in there for some reason. Kavoth is missing out. Don't really understand exactly how it works because I haven't looked at it. I'm just here for the vibes. Don't ask me, I just work here kind of vibes. But yeah, we got a bunch of stuff there. Now this show match prediction thing, I have been turning it off and on, but what's going on, the Rapple? I wanted to watch a Rapple game because I haven't seen a Rapple game in a while, and I caught you playing live, so get wrecked. Hopefully it's a fun game. This big fat box of shenanigans here, I think I'm just going to go ahead and turn off now. So that's that, and then I will turn this back on. So that'll pop up and that'll be nice. So yeah, tomorrow at 1400 GMT, starting 1400 GMT, we have all the show matches. I think I'm going to do 2 of them from memory, and then I hand over to Motaba to do the last one from memory. I'm still trying to work out everything. My life is a absolute chaos of trying to get content done, trying to organize a LAN, trying to hit some things out there. I did say at the end of my last stream that I have an announcement coming, which is exciting. So I'm not going to tell you when the announcement is, but I have an announcement, so it's coming. I actually have 2 announcements. I got 2 announcements. Well, one I'm not really sure if we're ready to quite share yet. I mean, Uros, you can tell me exactly where we are. Where we are on this one. No, they're definitely not today. Definitely. Nope. Cannot do it today. That is not gonna happen, guys. Get your pants back on and get yourself in line. You got the Gama Judah Pioneers slowly starting to run forward. I do like that walls are already up here from Rapple. One really cool idea that, well, Rapple doesn't quite finish up with is to... Yeah, this doesn't even make sense, does it? The Kwafu. Nice kiting moves from Gama Judah. One idea that I think from top players that is just like completely missing is the idea of scouting what your opponent's age up time is. That is a wild investment. Absolutely crazy. How much does that cost? I think it's worth it. I think it just absolutely dominates all of these guys. All right, well, that there is an amazing answer to something that is generally pretty strong. I'm going to have to remember to do this one. That's really, really powerful. Of course, you can just run and then utilize the chillin' to turn and one-hit all of these guys. Well, there you go. That's basically what happens there. But after all is said and done, he just picked off 4 Pioneers for the cost of... What does that even cost? Is it... Can someone explain how much that costs? Is it 300 resources total or something? Is it 6 times 100? Is it 600 resources? It's only 300. Fuck, that's cheap. God, that's cheap. China OP, man. But what I was gonna say is one really, really cool idea that that like the more boomy top players need to start incorporating into their game plan is, especially with China, but there's also other gods that can do this, is to be looking for age up times. And the way you look for an age up time is you get vision on the town center. You learn all of the timings at which villagers pop out of a town center, and you just sort of float unit scouts in to check the town center out at those timings. And if you don't see a villager pop out, then you know they're advancing. Now, of course, the hard part about when you're playing versus an actual Chinese player is, well, you don't know if they're building a Kwafu or if they're advancing. And that's a much bigger problem. These things take how long to train? I don't even know. They take forever to train, right? 42 seconds. They could be building a Kwafu, they could be advancing. So against China, it doesn't really work, but against everyone else, it does work, as the farm will come up over here, and Rappel is going for his secondary town center. You don't actually have to finish these farms. You can just click the button on them and they auto-complete, but nonetheless, they're up now. The other thing you can do here that I've learned, so there's a whole bunch of tricks, is you can actually click your villagers from your main base onto these farms. And then they are technically gathering. So that means that if your opponent shifting sands in, or does any sort of harassment to try and take, or basically if they bring a villager forward to try and prevent this from happening, they're not going to be able to. You can actually have that happen. And then you can do like quick little swaps where the villager gets to here as it's walking over. You send it back. You take 2 new villagers and do the same thing. And you just keep on repeating it. So that shifting sand strat from the Egyptians to like deny a town center of a Shenong player actually doesn't really work anymore if you actually understand how to micro that Shenong farm correctly. Of course, you have to be really good. If you can't do it, then you can't do it. But still, hello there. What are you guys doing in this? Guys, what are you guys doing here? Someone explain. How did you get in here? Like, how did you even get in there? If you can't get out, how did you get... The Dao swordsmen have a mind of their own, obviously. And Garma Judah gonna keep on coming through, gets another Vil pick. It's not the end of the world here for Rappel, though he probably should just invest in watchtowers rather than the Javelineer at this point. If he has watchtowers, then his base is completely safe against pretty much any sort of one town center regression, and then he can actually start thinking about getting up here, throwing a wall down, he gets this gold mine. But because he's on 2 town centers and he's really not going to take a huge amount of damage, he can kind of start greeding a little bit and not worrying all too much. Unless Garma Judah's got some weird macro issues going on. I'm not sure what his plan is with all that gold in the bank. Maybe he's going to buy something. There is an angle to do some sort of Dao swordsman all in here where you just build a ton of Dao, which is also kind of why getting the watchtowers rather than going into the Wuzu Javelineer is a slightly better idea, because it basically allows you the safety in your main base versus like the Dao swordsman rush. And then you also have access to scouting, obviously, the Dao swordsman coming, and you can actually go straight into fire archers and be ready to deal with that. But that's not what's coming. We are going to be seeing a 1 town center fast heroic through Golmang. And the only issue with this strategy from Garma Judah is that it's just really, really slow. And he wants to go into White Horse Cav, he wants to raid, and what Rappel should be doing now that he's actually scouting and seeing nothing close by and Garma Judah pulling back, he has to basically sniff out the fast heroic. But if he sniffs it out and he goes, okay, you're doing that, now we can wander forward, and that's a wall there, that's a wall there, that's a gold mine there, and you're not going to get gold starved by any fast heroic strategies. It's the best way for a 2TC play to defend against a fast heroic play is to be on that second gold mine while they're teching. But nonetheless, Gormang about to come in. And we are actually seeing more Dao swordsmen coming through for Garma Judah. And I'm going to have to assume... Well, Rappel drops the military camps now. I have to assume that Rappel's plan here has to be... Firstly, figure out what's coming. If he sees a ballet, build spearmen. And that's the plan there. The ballet on the front from Garma Judah is incredibly risky. He does have himself vanish, but he needs to get the units in, start the building, and then vanish, basically. And I think he can get it up considering what's here. But what's the actual plan from Garma Judah? Around onto this side. If he can lock off this gold mine, I mean, that's okay, but... Still, he's going to get spotted. Of course he is. Rappel's scouting. Always going to be very, very good. I don't mind the idea here, though, from Garma Judah. He's got to click Vanish, though. Don't lose any units here. Of course, Vanish is also there to counter the to counter the lightning weapons. And we will be seeing Master of Weaponry coming through, so those halberdiers end up becoming a lot stronger. It's an extra ranged attack, which does matter in terms of the effective output of damage. And then it's also faster DPS. So it's just more DPS in general, just overall in a fight. It's a very, very strong upgrade still. It has been nerfed, but I wouldn't say it's been nerfed in a way that the power for the halberdier is like less. It's actually more powerful in a lot of ways. It's just you can't catch your opponent's cavalry out anymore, where they like wander too close to the halberdier and they just die. It's more that, well, it's more that they're just going to do a ton more damage. You see they're doing 4 hack damage per second now with the 5x, so it's quite a bit, as that is the weirdest forest protection you are ever going to see, as another Terracotta Riders comes in. Rappel happily saying, I can take this fight on the forest protection. He doesn't even drop himself Fey Beasts or lightning weapons. Unfortunately, Garmajuta's strategy here has fallen flat on its head. The forest protection house is about to die. And that there is most likely going to be game here, because if you go for the one town center all in and you don't really get that much damage done, and your opponent gets to a second gold mine without taking any damage, that's generally going to be game over for you, especially if you're now behind on military as well, and Garmajuta will tap out. A nice little first game there for us to kick off the stream. Always fun to watch the Rappel going at it and dealing with the wonky stuff that happens on the ladder. Like this here as well. Very wonky. Love it. Is what it is. All right, let's pop out. How's everyone going? What's been happening, guys? We could watch Rappel versus Kavoth. They are both actually going at it right now. I know Kavoth is streaming, but perhaps we watch from Rappel's perspective. Nah, it's not a very good game. I think he just absolutely dominated. All right, let's go for replays and find ourselves a very, very nice replay to watch. And we'll see how it goes. We got some recon games. This one's piquing my interest. This is a Amaterasu versus a Ranos game. This one's really piquing my interest because it's a matchup that I personally really, really struggle with. So I want to see which one. Which replay? Oh, is this the game you just played? I was going to watch the live games because I think we're having some out of sync issues with recorded games at the moment. So I was trying to stay. Oh, I hit continue. Back. I wonder which game was. That's interesting. That's funny. All right. We're going to watch this one. It's Recon versus Kavoth. Amaterasu versus Aranos. The whole reason I want to watch this is mostly for me. Because, yeah, I suck with Amaterasu. And specifically versus Aranos, I find this very, very difficult. So it could just be that Kavoth is experimenting and he's not going to play like meta strats. But could also be that Recon has some sort of an idea here that's very, very strong. So let's check it out. At the top, we have the Reconator. He's very, very good at the game. And I mean, I think he's currently, it kind of feels like he's currently unrusting to some degree. I think there's this weird thing going on in Age Mythology where your top players like Recon, Magic, Kavoth, Rappel, there's this like dip in skill that keeps on going up and down. Like you can tell they have the potential to really push themselves up as far as they possibly can when the time calls for it. But when the time isn't there, it's like the other players are starting to really catch up, so to speak, or maybe even overtake during those down periods, which was never happening before. Players like Tunison, Mosca, let me get more names up. I'm blanking on Soup, Grass, like Mini Yeti, Matador, those guys are also like starting to get like much more powerful, and I think that level is starting to get a little bit more squished towards the top. But who knows what happens when tournament season comes back around? What that level is actually gonna do for everyone. But yeah, at the moment, I could be wrong. I feel like both Kavoth and Recon, while they are playing the game quite a bit, I'm not sure they're in full training mode just yet. Training mode is a very different feeling for the top players than everything else. Eyes Machine TV, thank you for the 16 months, my friend. New legend. I hope you're doing very well. Your data said Chukonu Biz Archer? Hang on, let me just read the rest of what you're saying. I can't understand what you said at the start. Maybe go Shinong, Myth Units, Chukonu Halbs. It's light on gold, heavy on food, so you can deal with fewer Kwafu Fey Beasts to counter ranged antis. Chukonu are not that resource efficient, right? Like, I can't remember what exactly it is. I can open it up quickly though. Archers. The Chukonu has... it's actually quite good on DPS. You might be right. You might be right. Cost per DPS. You might be right. There could be something there where you go for Myth Unit Chukonu. Don't really need the Halbs if you got Myth Units, right? Like, for example, if I'm going to go Chukonu plus Taltier, for example, that costs gold. I need to go Chukonu plus food-based Myth Unit. So what would that food-based Myth Unit be? You've got the Chillin, and that's it. Right? You don't want to go for the other guy, the siege guy. Because that's not going to really help you defend the Chukonu. So yeah, I think yeah, I think it's probably better to go for Chillin. So Chillin Chukonu is a bit strange, but maybe it works. Like, open up Chillin, get into the heroic age, maybe get the Halbs out as well. Full spend on Chillin, never lose them. Maybe that's a vibe. Anyways, advanced times coming through. Kavoth, yeah, Kavoth is experimenting here. This is the, I would argue, this is the wrong way to open with Uranus, just period. The reason it's wrong is because it allows the Amaterasu player to basically get all of the tempo going. So they get their buildings up, they get their units out, they're going to be able to prevent any sort of problems from happening. And if no problems happen with Amaterasu, then she will be able to hit you with whatever she wants. Because unlike other gods, Minakata Tomi allows Japan to basically go and kill you in the classical age, which is actually where a lot of Uranus' strength lies, is in the fact that you know that your main base isn't really going to die in the classical age, because you can just get watchtowers and whatever, which allows you to greed quite a lot on stuff. So this late advance, while it's going to help out Kavoth's economy quite a lot, he does need to be really concerned with ensuring he gets out the myth units to deal with any sort of one Udor push, and just not being greedy. He can't be greedy. He's got to scout the enemy army, which is doable with the Caladria. He's got to scout that enemy army. He's got to counter it. He's got to build Terma. He's got to build Catapultis here. I don't like Murmillos in the slightest unless you've got the tempo. If you got the tempo, then sure, Murmillos. If you do not have the tempo, then I think just going into counter barrack units. If you go for the later advance, just counter what your opponent's building. Catapultis, Terma, heroes, etc. And go from there. The jump, yes, you could do the Tiger. That still does cost wood, which is cutting into your Chukonu supply. It's probably an idea to try. It might be okay. I would try with Shillin though, to be honest, over the Tiger. The Tiger is not. I think the Chillin are a better shout. Generally speaking, the Tiger is like a unit you build one of, and then you go send it raiding. And then you bring it back to the fight later. And then you build one of, and then you go send it raiding, etc., etc. But in an actual fight, it's only really killing one unit. And then it kind of sits there, not doing a whole lot after that in an actual fight. So anyways, Recon now has a very large amount of advantage here. We do see the counter barracks up for Kavoth, but Kavoth is about to lose a tower. He is about to lose a lot of his base. He's converting into heroes, which is very, 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 very expensive at this stage of the game. So Recon has basically gotten everything he wants. He does have the Bushy, which are expensive. Doesn't really have an amazing counter versus these. What is going on here? With my keyboard. My keyboard's broken. Excuse me, let me just fix this. All right, we got the Recon Naginata Riders coming up to the top. Yeah, but Kavoth doesn't really have an answer to what Recon's got at the moment. He's just spent more resources. Like, if Kavoth spent all of his resources over here, he would have enough stuff, most likely, to take out the Naginata Riders and everything else. As the Citizen will bail in. Oh! Oh! Shockwave? Yeah, he has to Shockwave there. A little bit unfortunate, a little bit of a late reaction from Kavoth, but his Sky Patches does get taken out. There is a random Citizen up to the top here, though, so he will be able to do some cheeky business as the Naginata Rider is going to be searching. I love that. There is a Oracle over into this corner, and Kavoth will go straight into his corner over here to try and avoid getting spotted, but... Oh. You got to know what's in there. You got to know. There's 110% always something somewhere. Yeah, Vegemite stuck in my keyboard is not what's going on there. Some plastic fell out of something when I was opening it earlier and it's stuck in the thing, so I had to take it out. Anyways, up onto the top. Kitsune getting chased around. We do have the Kumiki, I can't speak. The Kumiki coming through for Recon as well. A little bit late on that. It does make the Bushy cheaper and everything, but it doesn't work retroactively. Oh no. Kavoth gets caught out in the middle of the map. He will be able to run to some degree, but his Terma are going to be getting chased down in a big way. And because these are Murmillo, he probably could go box formation and take a lot less damage here. But because these aren't Catapulties, he can't really just go and turn around, smack, run, etc. But he is starting to get more counter barracks up now. And a market behind here is a little on the dangerous side. Like I said, if you're not going to be full spamming here and just playing defense, you are opening yourself up to these timings. And you can see here, Recon is reading the situation really, really well. And he's going to go into this one unit. You have to do this. So the answer for this, for Kavoth, is to spam units. Spam units, get heroes, play defense. You're going to be forced into a little bit of a longer classical age. That's fine. As the Naginata Rider coming back over here, we'll see the Citizens onto this position, and Recon will be like, gah, he's back again. I would sneak a Citizen over here. Quickly. One Citizen. Quick. Quick. Down to the bottom before he comes. No? Anyways. Wait, is he going up? He is. He's going to try and break out. Can he get there in time? The Lions. The Lions are going to give it away. The Lions are absolutely giving up. Oh, red unit's coming in. Nice distraction, actually. And he will be able to get out with that Citizen. So he gets another little thing there. But you can't run around the map with Terma. You can't run around the map with Chariot Archers. You can't run around the map with Terma. This is a truism for all of the horse archers. If your opponent's got a speedy cavalry unit, like a raiding cavalry, a Naginata Rider, a Camel Rider, you can't run around the map with those cavalry archers. It's just not going to be working. However, Recon here makes the decision actually to go through Hachiman rather than staying classical age, spamming one Yudo and trying to punish here. I don't know if I like that. I think he has a way stronger army. And I think if he just walks into Kavoth's base with 5 1 Yudo here, which he has, and a full population army and all of his upgrades, he just wins the game on the spot because Kavoth has disrespected the 1 Udol strength. And we do see an Oracle has been spotted. What is this? What is this? What is this Sky Passage from Kavoth? That's hilarious. He's going to look for a raid into Recon's base, but I'm really not sure he's going to find what he's looking for. Walls are coming up onto the top. All the units over here with the wolves sitting in, so you can't raid this. It's the only place to raid. And Recon should be able to see that very, very easily. And now the army also gets to move forward as a Shogun is going to get built from that daimyo. And all the other good stuff. State! What's going on, man? I missed you. I love you. You're my favorite human in the entirety of South Korea. Are you still in South Korea? Are you still dominating it? I'm a big fan. Big state fan. See, the positivity. I love it. All right, so we'll see what Recon's going to actually look for here. He sees the units in his main base, and that might give him the cue to just go. Of course, there is also going to be Chaos, and there's also going to be Carnivora, but because there's so many heroes in for Recon, there's not a whole lot to really worry about. Antares to take out the Shrine is going to be a little bit annoying, but the defense here from Recon should be fairly simple. He can just get himself the Yati Spearman out and defend this. Lovely walls from Recon as well as the raid comes in. It's not going to be quite fast enough, I think. But, well, actually, it is going to be fast enough. He has to repair this back up, though. Or he can run out this way as well. It's completely fine. Recon actually deciding to pull back home is kind of wild. Of course, he's scared to go and attack, but I mean, I see what Kavoth's got, so that's not really a fair statement. Like, technically speaking, Kavoth should have. There's no reason for Recon to really be in front. They've both gone heroic age. They've both been spamming units. They both haven't really lost anything in particular. In fact, Recon's gone 2 TC. So yeah, there's not a huge amount of point for Recon to go crazy here and try and finish the game. Meanwhile, Kavoth, he doesn't know that this town center is up, so he doesn't actually know that he's got some difficult times ahead of him. As Satyr popping out here, this is very, very risky. That's very expensive. The way that Kavoth uses these normally is incredibly powerful. He will be able to get back to his Sky Passage, but he's going to drop 1 Satyr and then escape. The Sky Passage does get spotted. But yeah, that's a risky move. The way that Kavoth uses the Sky Passage plus the Satyr is second to none. The idea is he'll basically pop it out, use the special, drop back in, and then wait for the special to come back in, pop it back out again, use the special. Very, very, very difficult to deal with if the Uranus, well, if Kavoth basically has his position set up, but he didn't have the position set up, so he couldn't really go for it. As now Kavoth feeling like he can move out across the map. His army is looking somewhat similar in strength to the Recon army, but I don't really understand the Arcus in this army. He needs Terma, he needs Catapultes, he needs Contarius, Murmillos, and he does tap out there. A little bit of a blunder to some degree from Kavoth going into the Arcus in this specific position. They're mostly the reason for Arcus versus Japan is if they're going to be building Yati Spearmen or if they're going to be building Samurai. If they're not building those 2 units, you don't really have a lot of advantage. Like, you've got Arcus versus Yumi Archer, which you can space the Yumi Archer, but it's 1 range and the speed differential isn't really enough to stay out of range. They both got the same range. They're both at 4. So you can't like out micro that very easily. The Yumi Horse Archer as well is a unit that you can outrange. 16 range versus 20, but 5 speed versus 4. So the Yumi Horse Archer will be able to get into range, though they'll have to get close, which allows your Catapultes to deal with them. But anyways, you probably don't want them versus those. It's mostly just for the Yati Spearman and the Samurai, if you're asking me. And I think if Kavoth just kept going into Terma here and Catapultes, and it specifically went into heavy Terma nice and early, he probably can deal with this army. Alternatively, if he just waits and sits back until he gets that next Chaos, he's probably in a better position to actually win a fight, but he gets caught out in the middle of the map. Feels bad. Kavoth has the Relic. He does have the Relic. This is kind of like, well, if you take a look at it, it's kind of like giving the Arcus an extra 0.4 pierce damage per second, roughly, versus the Naginata Rider. And then it doesn't really do a huge amount versus the Yumi Archers. More like just a 0.2 or 0.3-ish pierce damage versus the Yumi Archers. So end of the day, it's not even a 10% boost to damage. It's like a 5% boost to damage, which isn't really going to change things a huge amount. It does help a little bit, but guess what? The Terma also gets that boost. So why would you not just build those? That's my take. Uranus not for all. That's true. Uranus is not for all. It is what it is. All right, let's see if we can find ourselves a cracker of a game. I need to get myself some water here. I love Saturday Fight Night. Saturday Fight Night's the best. Let's see what we got here. Let's go with this and then this. We have Ben versus Atif. Looks like a cracker of a game. I saw this game live of Divine versus John Arbiter. That was a fun game to watch. Let's check out. Oh, yeah. Let's. Do we want to watch a Japan mirror? No. Let's watch this one. Keto versus Pegasus. If anybody is watching Moose at the moment, did he cast this game? If he did, I'll skip over it. Yeah, we see. Yeah, Punkstar carried me to victory with this god. I never want to play another ranked game on this account ever again, just to be able to show off the Demeter win. Above and beyond. Vegemite is F tier. How can you ingest this? Vegemite is not F tier. Vegemite is perfectly edible substance in my books. Perfectly edible. Did I put this in the right place? Oh. The reason why a Vegemite is edible is because it's good for you. It's salty. And salt is life. Salt is good. I love salt. Before I jump too far into this game, I'm going to quickly fill up my water. And I'll be right back. All right, Ben, I have a question for you. What do you call dim sum? What do you call dim sum? I need to know. I need to know if this is like a thing in Melbourne. You just call it dim sum? Dim sim? Have you ever heard the term dimmies? Have you ever heard the term dimmies? You never heard it? I heard it for the first time. It's an okay. If you guys need, like, for anyone who's not Australian and you want a little bit of a hint into Australian culture, it's probably the best, one of the best Australian-made dramas I've ever seen, which is called Mr. In Between. It's fucking phenomenal. It's about a hitman. It doesn't get any better. It's really, really great. It's like 20-minute episodes, so they're easy to consume for your brain that can't quite manage to watch a 30-minute TV show. But yeah, he calls them dimmies. And I was like, what the fuck is a dimmy? I mean, they're eating them, so I know what they are, but he calls them a dimmy. Wild. Anyways, let's watch this game here. We got Pegasus. He just gets abused by Keto because all Keto knows how to do is abuse. Keto is playing one of the strongest gods in the game, Dimitristar. This is it chicken palmy or chicken palm? It's definitely chicken palmy. It's a palmy. It literally is a palmy. I don't know what Ben's on about. Ben's from somewhere weird. Bondi Rescue is pretty goated as well, yeah. Anyways, Keto's on best god in the game, Dimitristar. And Pegasus here is playing one of the more weak gods in the game with no real abusable features, with the exception of pretty much everything inside of the god's kit. Alrighty. Okay, so temple coming up for Pegasus. I do like this usage of Wither. It hurts the Miko quite a bit, but end of the day, probably the best bet for Wither. The actual best usage of Wither. Okay, let me break it down. The actual best usage of Wither is to cut your opponent off of food, something which Demeter isn't very good at, right? But hear me out. Cut your opponent off of food. Have the Pegasus very, very vehemently scouting for farms. And then as soon as you see more than, say, 4 farms placed on a position, you're just gonna go ahead and use the Wither. That's the unfortunate best case scenario for Wither. The other usage that I actually don't mind is on an enemy army, specifically an army of like chariot archers, for example. If we're going to go like Prodromus to try and beat up an Egyptian player who's only going to be making Migdol units, and we're going to go into Prodromus, makes sense, right? Then you can use Wither to chase down the enemy Migdol units when they're far away from their Migdol and kill them off. That's my take on the whole situation there. But Keto going to go in for his Iolawus. I would say he has already made a fairly large misplay. You do not need the Iolawus early on. You want to go directly into your town center and also grab yourself Pan's Pioneers. Now, he is doing basically that, but his Pan's Pioneers a little bit delayed. Where's the Deuterino? This guy's over here grabbing a relic. I think this is why he's gone for the Iolawus, so that he can actually defend himself. But to be completely honest, we don't need relics here. We've got the best god in the game. Like, no need to like min-max and get any more advantages. Let's just play around the stuff, because you can just leave the Orpheus in your base, and these Kitsune raids don't really do anything. Normally they're quite strong, but because the Orpheus has got accuracy 100% and track rating 99, it basically just means you're good to go. You don't have any issues in against this kind of Kitsune stuff, so long as it's in your base. And on top of that, because that's also the case, you could probably start looking for the Iolawus to actually raid. So yeah, this is perfectly fine, well and good, as the villagers will break for the tower. The village center does get scouted. And the most important thing here now for Keto is 2 decisions. The 2 decisions that Keto makes now are very, very important. So, and he needs to... Did they update that? Did they update this? Am I going crazy? Has it always been this? Has it always been looking like this, or am I going crazy? I think I'm going crazy. Isn't that Natalie Portman? It might be. Okay. Anyways, she is. She's a looker. That's right. She's a looker, eh? Anyways, so now the most important thing for Keto is he's got to get himself out a Pegasus. If he doesn't get the Pegasus out, I mean, you can also get away with just a Katoskopos, but, you know, you want to be here and you want to be here, right? If you scout your opponent going for a town center, we do this. Because you're so happy. This is the exact thing you want to play against as Dimitristar, the most powerful god in the game. And the correct reaction to this is to simply drop this town center as well. Wait, did Persephone also get an update? My face is in the way. I can't. That one kind of looks familiar. Anyways, yeah, the correct move right now for Keto is to get a town center, because then you get two more of these guys in, Lakawan in, and yeah, there's not really a whole lot that you're worried about. Now, Keto might play a little bit differently, a little bit more safe. I don't think that this is actually, I don't think it's risky at all to go for a town center here, because you do have yourself Arcadian Meadow. There's also 2 gold mines in your main base, so you're not even worried about getting gold starved here. And yeah, you're good to go to get up onto this spot, and then all you have to do is secure the bottom corner for a trade route, and you just take this game as slowly as you possibly can. I don't care that the town center is arse Keto. You shouldn't care either, and the fact that you care shows you don't understand why it's so important. You need the town center for villager production, and that's it. I don't care. They can come over onto this wood line. They can build farms. They can come to this gold mine. They can wall, be on this gold. It's fine. It doesn't matter. You can eat goats on there. It does not matter. It is just the right move to get that town center. It can have 0 on it. This is the Dimitristar way. This is how you play with Dimitristar. And anything else is incorrect. But we will see Hestia coming through, and there's a lot of ways in which this can go really, really south for Pegasus, so he's got to be very much turning his eyes onto the minimap, ensuring that he doesn't get hit with the tree shenanigans. We see Archery Range Military Academy. I'm a bit surprised to see the Military Academy here. I would expect stable here 9 times out of 10, just on the fact that he's already scouted the Naginata Riders. And there's also now going to be 3 stables. So we are obviously going to be seeing a lot of cavalry. So prodromus are going to be really, really nice here for Keto to run through. Pegasus, on the other hand, the unfortunate fact of the matter is, because he's playing against the best god in the game, he doesn't actually, he's just going to get counted no matter what he does. So that's the hard part. That's the hard part. Anyways. We'll see where to next. Still no farms up from Keto. Probably should be considering some of those. The other thing is, the other reason why getting the town center in the classical age rather than going for this heroic age is so good is because you net an extra 3 pigs, which means more favor, which then means more trees, which means more winning. But Keto is going for something random. He's not actually playing the premium Demeter, best in-slot Demeter strategies. Charges forward. He does get himself out of Lakawan here. Obviously, the Lakawan very, very useful in this spot as well to deal with all of those Naginata Riders. He's charging forward here. Communal Hearth going to be getting dropped in onto this position. Steals one of the full HP Naginata Riders immediately there as the communal, what's this thing called? As the Swampland does get dropped down. A little bit surprised to see no Arcadian Meadow here, but it looks like he doesn't need it for the time being, as Pegasus has been caught out in a pretty big way. He steals a Kitsune. Have you ever seen a 4.5 speed hoplite in your life? I haven't, and that's what we're getting here. As the fortress will complete, worst case scenario, Keto can just drop the Arcadian Meadow down and then repair it up. He obviously doesn't want to, and the villagers need to pull back. Huge damage done onto Pegasus, but Pegasus has found quite the counter here. He has gone through one of the best minor gods in the game, Fujin. So he's going to be having himself some very, very fun times with some basically unkillable myth units. The only thing here that he has to worry about is the Orpheus. If he can snipe the Orpheus, then his Oni are going to be incredibly powerful. Yeah, I'm reading chat, and apparently Communal Hearth is going to bug at some point. It's just a skill issue. That's not a bug. You're just not using it right. Sorry, Keto. I can't help myself. All right. A little bit of raids into the main base. This is probably not the best uses of the Oni. You want to... The Oni's strength is when you get into a few of them. You can see how long it takes for it to actually die here. Of course, this is just one hero, but it does take a very, very long time. But, I mean, Keto is being incredibly generous and donating some villagers over to the Oni campaign. But if you have like 3 or 4 of them, then they just don't really die to heroes very quickly at all, and they just sit there and they tank up damage for ages and actually do a huge amount of damage as well. That being said, if Pegasus can bring this back and then heal it up with all of his Miko, it's going to be really, really nice for him. But the more pressing question is, where's the food situation for Pegasus to actually build himself Oni? That's the more pressing question. That's the hard part. Arcadian Meadow getting dropped onto the town center stops the town center from firing, but also prevents these units from actually fighting underneath this position. That being said, Metropolis can very, very simply target this down. And the main base of Pegasus is hurting. No temple means no production here. That being said, he's going to get that one back up. He does have some food in the bank. What is he gathering? Where is he gathering food from? It's just from the goats in the main base. This is a very, very tough spot for Pegasus. And I think Keto's strategy here has paid dividends, as our main man, Pegasus the Great, did not read the strategy. That being said, he's got himself another Swampland, because when in doubt, simply Swampland. Does drop himself down the Kusanagi, sending units flying, and a whole bunch of the Keto units will end up falling. Oop. Oni conversion. 53 HP and a dream Oni. Look at him. Poor guy. Got to get that farm upgrade and heal him back up to full HP. Is there any other way to heal for Demeter? Or sorry, Dimitristar? Demeter's not a very good god. Dimitristar is way better. Oh! That's where he's getting food from. Wild. Absolutely wild. Farms to come down. Unfortunately, this is one of the situations where had Pegasus had this food here, then all of a sudden the favor that Pegasus had, the 200 favor, you used 100 on the Swampland, that would have all gone into Oni, and his army would be nigh unstoppable. But because, well, not even nigh unstoppable, it would be stoppable, but you'd have to get to the Mythic Age if you're on the side of the Dimitristar, or you'd have to go into a whole bunch of Communal Hearths and be very good with those. Anyways, random Hamadryad. Hamadryading does everyone's favorite Hamadryad. Get wrecked. Hamadryad strength. A second Communal Hearth. Okay, so this Communal Hearth is converting the Oni. This one, and they both stop. Don't ask me why they both... no. He must have changed it. That's why. He screwed it up. It was working, and then it stopped working, and now he breaks both of them because there's no units defending it. Well done to Pegasus, utilizing the Smiting Gust strategy there. Breaks through it all. And yeah, I'm just watching what happened, man. Like, clearly you clicked something, and it just stopped working. It was working, and then it stopped. Fortress going to be dying. I think if the Communal Hearths were placed in a more defensible position, that would have been a simple defense, to be honest. But they're out in the middle of nowhere, so... Nonetheless, the Onis do end up dying. Keto keeps his fortress alive. And he has managed to get himself quite the economic advantage here. Does he have any... any other Deuterinos? I think he does. It's 81 here, and he's got 76. So he's got some wolves somewhere on the map. Oh, they're both on the front hunt. Wow, that's high value. high value wolfage. Though it is high population, but Keto's now got himself another talent center. He's got this position on the back. He just has to play this one slowly. So, funnily enough, he probably shouldn't be building any units here. The best bet is to basically just play defense and get to the Mythic Age for Lightning Storm. And he should be in a really good spot to win this game against, doesn't matter how many Dragon Typhoons. But anyways, villagers here do get sent packing a little bit as the main base is open. I still don't understand why this is such a common thing, especially with, not so much with some other cities, but especially with Demeter and especially with Greek in general. Like, we just got to wall up our bases, Greek. Like, you just have slower units than your opponent. So there's no sense in having it open. And Pegasus just gets massive value here with this raid. Keto will decide to take the opportunity to charge forward. He is stealing my strats with the tree. As his tree is going to help him out a little bit, but well played there from Pegasus to pop that one. But if it just sits here and it doesn't get touched, oh. You got to put this bad girl on no attack stance. If you don't know attack stance, you're not hammer dryading. You're just not. You've got to use no. Yeah. The other thing that Keto is missing here is this technology. This one is really, really good. Plus 30% HP, plus 30% range damage, and that also affects. Wait, does that also affect the? Hold on. Yeah, it affects the special as well. And the special, 30% of like crazy amount of damage is crazy amount of damage. But anyways, Pegasus now finds himself winning on this fight a little bit, as Pegasus kind of got caught out on the swampland, pulls himself back. He's going to be losing this position, and life is now very, very tough. Meanwhile, Pegasus is attempting to farm outside his walls, and well, he forgot his watermill, so hopefully he catches that, or his villagers are just going to be wandering through the middle of the map without any problems. I like the back and forth here, Keto. I like the back and forth. It's good. It's good. Your villagers are all going to die. Happy days. Meanwhile, Pegasus is also going to lose all his villagers because he's going to be like, but I told them to build the watermill. Did you? I don't know if you did. But he's got a watermill over here, so he's actually fine. He survives another day. He survives another day. Fortress over onto the left side. Pegasus has taken the score lead back. Mostly this is just on the fact that Keto threw away his army over here, trying to finish the game instead of playing for the Dimitri Star game plan, unbeatable Dimitri Star game plan. But oh, now he's built the watermill. Give him the dream. We will have the Hamadryads coming out, and not really a lot of units here as the building's getting shot up over onto this left side. This, the fact of the matter is here, Pegasus basically needs to get some serious damage done, and he's about to do it. If he doesn't get damage done, I think that Keto will just win based on economy and income. But so long as actual damage gets done onto gold mines and things like that, this game is going to be very much so in the balance. Meanwhile, over onto this side, finishing off all these buildings. The Oni can get some nice value. Kito's got to be careful not to build any units out of these buildings. He's doing a good job of that. Villagers over here pop out. They're going to get back onto their gold mine. A couple of units are needed to take these bad boys out, but he'll turn around and get some shanky shanks. Military buildings going down. Archery ranges going down. It's all over for the front base here of Keto. Let's get the Icarus out, and Pegasus is going to be like, I'm scared of that bad boy. Should be. It's 2.25. Why is it 2.25 area of effect damage? Why didn't they go, you know what seems like a good idea? 2.0 area. They went at 2.25. Very specific numbers. Anyways. The Icarus raids not the best versus Yuumi Horse Archer. As I say that, the Yuumi Horse Archers... Wait, hang on. Please explain. Someone explain this to me. Because I can't explain it. I want to be able to. I wish I could be like, yeah, look, the Horse Archers, they've got ballistics, but because it's a flying unit, it can move in 360 degree angle, just like every other unit, but it has no obstructions. Therefore, it's easier to do like little wiggle micro to dodge arrows. But Kido just sort of flies over the Horse Archers and basically takes 0 damage. So I can't explain that one away. It could just be a skill issue on Pegasus's part. I don't know. But it seems to be happening every single time. Does he have... he doesn't have himself... there you go. He doesn't have himself crenellation, so that's got to be why. Oh, damn. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the old ballistics against flying units. Maybe that's why flying units are so strong. Anyways, we do have ourselves the explosion there from the Hammer Dryad to help out on the defense ever so slightly, but we'll end up falling. But Kido here with his fortress. You can see these Onis just do not die. The other thing is they're all getting themselves quite a bit of gold income as well. Of course, the Orpheus sitting here boosting up his own units behind this is incredibly valuable, and Pegasus did need to focus a little bit harder on trying to take that Orpheus out. Then his Oni would have been absolutely huge on this position, but well played to Kido to keep that one safe. I imagine he would have garrisoned and things like that, but if he does garrison, then the aura goes away and the Oni does more damage, so it would have been good either way. Does Orpheus give the Forta bonus? No. No. It's 10 units. 10 human soldiers. The fortress is not a human soldier. As much as it's basically a human soldier in terms of how much DPS it gives. 37.5 pierce damage per second ends up being somewhere in the vicinity of like 10 population worth of archers, I guess. Was it like 5 times 10? Yeah, 5 times? I can't remember. 9 anyways. Is Ren playing Retold? Ren is Kido. They're the same person. Meanwhile, everyone to this side, the Lakawan going for some raids. I've always had this interesting thought here. Why not put village centers down instead of fortresses on your gold mines? Your opponent comes in to raid them. You garrison into the village center. You also get the Lakawan out. You can also then grab this tech too. The village center has no range. Doesn't it have the same range? I can't tell. I thought it had 18. Well, 18 versus 20. So the fortress got a little bit more range. But I think the village center with like maxed garrison units is doing more. I'm going to check it. I think if the village center is garrisoned, it might be stronger than the fortress. No, you're not understanding. Guys, you've got to think a little bit more in depth about the whole thought process. Nonetheless, the Watatsumi is now on the way. I mean, I'm happy to be wrong, but like if you take a look at this, you go, village centers have plus 10% attack and plus 48 hit points per garrisoned village. So they have 20 villages garrisoned. It's like 800 extra HP and a huge amount more damage. I don't know how many can get into the thing. That's 15. It might not be quite 3,000 HP. It might not be quite that much. I'd be on my 4th. Yeah, I not only would I be on my 4th King Midas right now, but I'd be on my 10th Medusa. I'd have like 5 Hammer Dryads, and And yeah, and life would be very, very good for me. Hamadryad as a unit here, getting owned by the Yuumi Horse Archers. There's this Watatsumi God Power coming through, and Pegasus is just going to be like, yeah, I got this ridiculously OP God Power, but my opponent's got no units, so what the hell do I use it on? The Pegasus, Shanky Shanks. Of course, you have to Lightning Storm this if you're Keto. He's going to continue to try and stay alive here. The most important thing is to start up that trade route. Losing this talent center isn't the end of the world. As Dimitri Star, as long as you get to trade route, 2 talent centers, and like completely protected. Lots and lots of villager kills here. Lots and lots of unit kills. A bit of a random minimap flare. I think I misclicked. But yeah, so long as you can get to fortified town centers and have 2 TCs, you can basically push back against a lot of different late game situations. Not all of them, mind you, but I'm pretty sure against Susanoo you can actually push back against this with the extra 20 pop you get from your technology here. That's funny. I like that. Got to steal your opponent. There's literally a campaign here. The other thing is like the Amazon Archer. This unit is a 2 population unit that basically has the stats of a 3 population unit. So you get 10 of them. So effectively getting an extra 10 population to play with. So yeah, you really don't need the 3rd town center in a lot of different situations. Just you get plus 30 pop effectively when you go through when you go to the Mythic Age, and you get all of those Amazon Archers out. Oh, 50 gold! Plus 50 gold! Living the dream. Now, mind you, there still is a Dragon Typhoon, and there's still another Smiting Gust, Swampland, all the other good stuff. King Midas raids. 3 hitting a villager is quite nice. You know, the King Midas is really doing a pretty nice amount of damage now. He's quite strong. Well worth training. Super good. Trade route now in for the Keto Meister. He's up to 20. He does still not have himself his upgrade, but he also doesn't have fortified town centers. He has to get a whole bunch of other upgrades in as well. And he's focusing on this town center. It means he's getting another Deuterino or 2 from his Pan's Pioneers tech. So that helps him deal with some of those Naginata Riders. Orpheus out to try and deal with the Oni Warlord. He's going to be sitting here playing his harp quite a bit to try and take this out. King Midas would be an amazing answer to the Oni Warlord, but that's not what's being built. But it will die eventually here, so no problems. It's an interesting game plan from Keto. Just don't train units, just get tech so that he doesn't die to the Dragon Typhoon. The other option is to just spam fortresses. And I mean this sincerely. You go up to like architects quite quickly and you just spam fortresses everywhere. And your opponent has to then go into siege units. And you still die, but you don't die to the Typhoon, you die to the siege units. Or Beltaz starting to come out. Got to be careful with them. They do beat the Yuumi Horse Archers quite handedly, but still need quite a few of them. As this Sylvan Hamadryad comes through. Oh, well, that's not the usage of the Hamadryad that I was particularly expecting. That being said, it did pick off 2.5 Yuumi Horse Archers. Which basically pays for itself. If you don't count favor as a resource, which apparently some people don't. Anyways. Now Pegasus going into more Miko. I'd love to see this Hamadryad go no attack stance and just sit on the trade route. And by saying I'd love to see that, I think it would be obnoxious, terrible. You should never do it, but it would be hilarious, and you should do it all the time. So Townsend dies. King Midas does manage to come out. That's nice. But also King Midas running in. But turns the Oni Warlord to stone with one, or gold with one attack. And well, he's can you attack this? How do you? Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't even realize that's how he worked. Archery ranges, military academies, all the other good stuff going to be falling over here up onto this top side. We got the villagers coming through. Okay, so now, effectively, the game plan for Keto should be, he's got his upgrades in. Wait, does he have his upgrades in? No, not really. No, that's the wrong player. He's getting his upgrades in. He's got the main ones. But he just has to get himself fortified TCs. This technology too. I can't remember what it's called. Prosperous lands? Gracious hospitality. Gracious hospitality. Full Amazon archers. That's most important. And then fill up the rest of his population with whatever. And then he can push back. Of course, then he gets Dragon Typhoon and he has to do it all over again. But still, that's got to be the idea. You can also rush up to another lightning storm here if you... Never mind. Now we can do exactly what I said, and it's perfectly fine and reasonable. The big typhoon going to come through. Villagers will get hit, but they do have themselves the regen relics, so it's not the end of the world. They can get back to work. I guess the real question is, can Keto stay alive to get himself out all of the stuff? What's Pegasus abusing in this game? No, Pegasus is getting abused by a best god in the game, Dimitri Star. But Keto is so heavily mishandled it that it's gone quite poorly for him. Sorry, kid. I'm just kidding. It's all jokes. We're all just making fun. It's all funny. It's all fun in games until someone gets offended, and then it's hilarious. Okay. Why don't the donkey caravans get HP back? I feel like the donkey caravans should get HP back like the villagers do. In that relic. That's bad. Of course, if Keto can't secure this trade route and he loses his trade, he does lose the game. So that's also important. I remember when I did this to Boit, I was banned from joining his lobby. Yeah, you were banned because you used Lightning Storm on my Phoenix. It was very mean. That's and it's you're never allowed to do that again. You anti-fund me. It was the worst experience of my life. Well, I think the takeaway here is Keto should have played the S-tier Dimitri Star strat rather than the sort of B-tier Severo Jones Bones strat. And he probably would have won the game. What's the strat? Oh, he just had to take this town center and then he would have won the game. So you want me to tell you the strat? I'll give you the rundown. Okay. So it's actually a really nice strat for you because I'm pretty sure you enjoyed this game plan. I'll run back to the. No, I'm gonna write the. I'll tell you what. How are we gonna do this? Let's open up Notepad. Notepad will do. Notepad will do. All right. So. All right. So number one is we open Village Center with Hands Pioneers Tech, right? That's number one. So first, this is the flow chart. Actually, we'll go, this is the strat and this is the flow chart. Okay. So one, if enemy goes 1 TC. We grab watchtowers, go heroic. 1 TC aggro. We go watchtowers, go heroic, and make counter units. Then fortress on second gold mine with Arcadian Meadow and win the game. All right. So that's that one. 2. Enemy goes for 2 TC as a response to village center, right? We go for a town center as well. Then go heroic age and hold on for dear life until we win, because we will eventually win. I'm pretty sure that's all of the real responses you need. Okay, 3 would be enemy goes for some weird 1 TC fast heroic all in. Just do 1 but without watchtowers. Perfect. So that's all you need to know. That's the strat. So if Magic does this, he's going to win the Athens land. Well, he's going to get 1 win basically in the Athens land. Did I ever hear of a spreadsheet? Yeah. Did you not see my spreadsheet? Spreadsheet! Look at my spreadsheet. I went full Magic. Holy spreadsheet. It's got colors. It's got it's literally it's everywhere. If you hang on. Yeah. Is this like some rock, paper, scissors opening? Well, I mean, you have to play well. It's not like you just auto win because the strat is like OP. It's you have to actually be good at the game too. You have to like make sure you play your defense correctly. You build walls. You play like good defense with the trees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Unfortunately, there might be a patch that changes everything. You know what I mean? And Dimitri Star might go from the S tier god up to like an S triple plus tier god, or down to an F tier god. You never know. Now, seeing as Magic is here, we better feature him on the channel. Magic is now mildly. I was talking to him this morning. I woke up at like 5 a.m. couldn't sleep. Turned on the old Twitch Rooney, and mildly rusty Magic was there. And I had a word, and I was like, "What's next? Is it going to be mildly Magic, or is it going to be rusty Magic?" And he said it's going to be I am Magic. So he's obviously feeling himself. He's fielding himself, which is good. He's about to dominate everyone. So we could watch him against Pegasus Arena. We just watched Pegasus. Maybe that's a good game to watch. Or we could watch him versus Keto. No, we can't watch him versus Keto. Let's watch him versus Pegasus. It is a Japan mirror, but it is what it is. Japan mirror is good mirror. Has Pegasus got lucky? Did he? He probably just abused the bird. It's a sad state of affairs, you know. Bird is just really, really strong. When did you play Magic? You played him 10 days ago. It was an Amaterasu versus Set where you abused Thoth. And then Magic went onto the Balance Discord and was complaining about Thoth. No, I'm just kidding. Dumb question probably, but will I be present in Athens? Yes, I will be in Athens. That is very much confirmed. I will be there. When we get the return of Tiob. Tiob actually passed away, sadly, and was replaced with I hope this works. So yeah. When are we going to get a team game rec review? Well, the fact of the matter is I keep looking at the bloody schedule of, I keep looking at the schedule of the MCL, the Mythic Clan League, and literally every single bloody game is at 1800, 1700, 1600. None of them are in my streaming zone. Next week, I'm going to be going back to nocturnal mode, so I'll be able to catch some of them. But yeah. Okay, let me show you this, guys, as well. Before we jump into this actual big fat game, we got ourselves the show match prediction for the SSS, and I've been told personally by one of the men behind the scenes that Magic needs to get his ass up to 1900 so that he can actually participate in the Sat Fat Set show match. Very, very important. Okay. All right, so we've got ourselves a little cheeky game of Pegasus at the top left of the map playing as Super Yomi. Honestly, I think it's important here that we do actually make Magic into one of these gods. I would suggest Magic becomes this one if I had to take a pick. Magus was what I would go with. But yeah, I think this one works, or this one works, or this one works. I think they're all valid. Magic, Magifu. I think that also works. Like waifu, but Magifu. Yeah. All right. There's a lot of fun things happening in Age of Mythology community at the moment. I'm a big fan. Magitarasu. All right. Okay. So we've got a Japanese mirror. I haven't seen these in forever. In fact, I don't think we saw one Japanese mirror in tournament recently. Like I haven't seen Amaterasu versus Susanoo. I haven't seen Tsukiyomi versus Amaterasu. I just haven't seen them. So I almost don't know what's happening. Like the last time we really saw a bunch of Japanese mirrors was in the Gerbot's Japanese Joust when Japan released, and everything has changed since then. Specifically, like that tournament was all about people not really understanding how to play Tsukiyomi, and Amaterasu being slightly overtuned on the samurai shenanigans. But funnily enough, I was looking into the samurai, and I think the samurai might actually need like a little bit of a buff. I think it might have been over nerfed. Can you believe that? Crazy. But maybe, I don't know, I could be wrong on that. No one's really having huge success with the samurai anymore is also a feeling that I've had, which was sort of confirmed by the actual statistics. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. That's not my job. Someone else can make that balanced thread if they feel the same way. Anyways, let's have a little look-see at the relics and see if there's going to be anything super important. We do have HP plus 4%. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And here we got the great Sompantli, making the towers cheaper. That's always nice. Over on this one, Feather of the Fang. A little bit of bonus damage. Bottom side. Oh, this one is... I kind of wish this was more like myth units bonus damage versus myth units as a more, but I get that relics can't be super impactful. So, anyways, Tower Cestus is +1 versus... Wait, you have Tower plus... We got the synergy. We got the Tower synergy. Okay, so interestingly, we see Magic going for Minakata Tomi. I think a lot of players are saying this is really, really strong now, and I think they're correct. But against Japan, not going for the... What's it called? Come on, brain. Work. Amino Uzume. Not going for Amino Uzume does allow the Tsukiyomi player a lot more freedom. Like, they don't have to worry. So, while your food is going to get increased by quite a lot, right? The villages of your opponent can actually move out around the map and also enjoy hunt. So while you're gaining food, your opponent's also going to be enjoying a food increase that they wouldn't normally be allowed to get because of the threat of Kama Itachi. So that there is that idea, but that being said, I don't really mind this from Magic on this map in the slightest. If the map was maybe a little bit more closed off, like say it was more Watering Hole-esque and this top side was easily wallable, then I would say, well, yeah, well, he's just going to wall in and you're not going to be able to do anything with the Kama Itachi, but this one's super open, so that option is on the table. Anyways, Naginata Riders doing their thing. A little bit of a cheeky raid over here as this villager is a little bit confused about where they want to be. And whoa, quick wall. Where's the quick walls? We don't have Hera. We do not have Hera in Age Mythology. It's okay. I'll wait for him. He's going to try the game out at some point. Maybe after he finishes his Warcraft 3 shenanigans, we might see some Hera shenanigans here. Nice little raid from Magic as he does manage to pick a vill. And he's now up 2 villages, or one and a bit villages, because the Pegasus has gone for 2 extra Miko, which, well, these guys only take 12 seconds to train, whereas the villagers are taking 17 seconds to train, and Magic grabbed himself the tech for a free Miko, basically, which is nice. So yeah, generally the plan here for the really lame plan for Tsukiyomi is to drop New Moon multiple times or drop Swampland multiple times. But the really cool plan in this specific matchup is to go for Tengu or Oni, basically. Or actually to go for Omaraki as your ultimate goal. Which is another sort of reason why Amaterasu kind of wants to go Amino Uzume here. Because then you get access to the Goshin Boku tree, which makes the Omaraki like infinitely more valuable. While Magic trying to take a little bit of a difficult fight here. These Yati Spearmen are incredibly strong against cavalry, and the Spider is effectively, I would consider the Spider an anti-raiding tool. She's kind of average in every other sort of situation, but as a defender, she'll basically pick off a cavalry unit with her special, and then she'll just sit there being able to tank and deal damage. She's quite good at that sort of anti-raiding dealio. Ben would let her grapple with you anytime. That's nice. I'm glad you and the Jiragumo get along there, Mr. Ben QVH. Herbert Blaine from the YouTube's asked, when am I going to play the campaign? I'm playing it currently. I'm up to like mission 6 or something. I can't remember. I'm doing basically 1 or 2 missions a week. So we're going to get through it way past when the Aztec hype has died down. But I think... I'm not even going to say it. Someone said something to me, and I felt bad about it. So I'm taking my time. As we see Hachiman from Pegasus. Hachiman makes plenty of sense for Tsukiyomi. One of the strongest units that Tsukiyomi has is the Horse Archer in this matchup. So getting those to be stronger to deal with myth units and things like that is very, very good. Anyways, more cav coming out from Magic. I think I understand why Magic likes Japan. It's because he likes cavalry. My guy is a big cav fan. He loves the speed, and all of the Japanese cavalry units are quite good. Am I right on that? I reckon I am. He's a big unit control micro dude. I don't know if that's the case. No, because if that was the case, then Magic would love like myth units, and he doesn't build enough of them. He likes to nerf myth units. Build more myth units. More myth units. Anyways. Who's the better spreadsheet master? Magic's way better at spreadsheets than me. Magic does that shit for his life. He's like, he's got the spread. I need help with my spreadsheets. I gotta ask people, how do I do, what's the formula for this? What do I do here? How does this work? I one up you. ChatGPT is beta. We don't talk about ChatGPT here. Stable. This guy 2 TC and heroic. I like this TC grab actually, because it's super safe here. So any sort of timing that Pegasus is going to hit is going to be slightly weak. The only issue is that this is Tsukiyomi, so Tsukiyomi's timings being slightly weak still means they're incredibly powerful. I wonder if it's a better move to just use the Shogun to move in and just, like, start stacking up Samurai if your opponent's not going to defend their Shrine of the Hunt here. Nonetheless, the Naginata Rider is going to attempt to get in here. Pegasus does have a fairly large advantage in units here because he's gone through Inari Orkami. He's got himself Sashimono Bannerman. You can see he gets 1.2x versus Cavalry with that tech, which is a big deal. It's 20% extra damage, effectively, in this matchup because Magic is only building stables. He's got 5. He doesn't have a dojo. He doesn't have a guardhouse. Generally speaking, Amaterasu will, against Tsukiyomi, will normally go into infantry in the heroic age. Normally, to some degree, whether it be shinobi or it'll be samurai or a myth unit. The one thing here that I think would have been really strong for Magic actually would have been to go for Raijin over going for Hachiman here. And the idea would be to make a bunch of Raiju, and that would be your answer to this composition, so to speak. Nice micro there from Pegasus with the Miko to keep everything alive. But yeah, going through Hachiman is going to make his horse archers stronger. Actually, there is a really, really strong play here. I think I misspoke. There is a really, really strong play here for Amaterasu against Tsukiyomi. If we take a look at this, 15 range versus 15 range, but you can't buy it unless you have a guardhouse. There is a tech called Hunter's Strength that comes from... come on, brain. What am I doing? Minakata Tomi comes from the Shrine of the Hunt God. If you have 1 extra range than your opponent in an equal battle with good micro, you actually just hard win that fight. So that angle makes some sense for that angle makes some sense for the horse archers in this specific situation. And then actually Pegasus is the one with the need to make something happen. That being said, if you can make yourself have the speed advantage, then you can overcome that range disadvantage. So there is the double Kitsune option to sort of get in there and deal with that. But then it just becomes a big fat micro battle, and that's good. Magic was thinking about that last night. I have done it a couple of times. It's very, very fun, but super sweaty. You have to micro your butt off. Very, very difficult. But yeah, the more simple play is to make Raiju and run around the map and be annoying and then run in and kill off the archers, and then you can make Super Samurai as well. Your Shinobi gets stronger. One of the weakest part of the Shinobi right now is their HP. So if you can have, if you can go through Amano Uzume, Raijin, and then Takamikazuchi, you can actually have those Shinobi as a late game unit that are very, very strong. Because they get plus, I think it's 10%, 20, 15%, 20%. So 45% bonus HP for the Shinobi, which I think will take them up an extra 45, 50 HP or something. Which is quite a lot. Ruthless and disciplined. You notice I put the Arcus in D tier. Can you explain? Did you watch the? Did you listen? I explained it in the video. There's two sections of the archer analysis. There's the section where the archers don't get microed, and there's the section where the archers do get microed. So when Arcus are microed, their ability to dominate a enemy archer is quite high. They're able to have more range, equal speed, and basically take the survivability stats stop mattering. They get basically infinite survivability and infinite DPS on the opponent's archer units there. So with micro, they're very, very good. Without micro, they're very, very bad. Yeah, actually, where is Magic's Bushido at the moment? He's so far behind. He just bought the upgrades. Poor guy. Swampland to come down onto this side as well. Swampland is a god power you must respect. You really do want to run for it. Yeah, you're in your base, but if you just pull back here, then you can sort of ignore basically everything going on. Tengu raids all over the place is tough. But actually, Magic is kind of fine here, no? Oh, wait. I totally flipped the units. This was Pegasus's units. Lol. I flipped the units. I think Magic's in a pretty decent spot here. I don't know where his villagers have gone. He's only got a tiny villager lead, but surely he's in a good spot now. Does he have himself the upgrade here? He doesn't have these up. You don't even need a guardhouse. You can get Hunter Strength in the Armory. I didn't even know that. There you go. The more you know, the better you become. But grabbing the Golden Kite here, super important because it gives bonus versus myth units for your horse archers. It's not a crazy amount. It's kind of similar to the Odin tech, which is called Hamask. That gives bonus versus for your berserks, but it doesn't mean that your berserks are countering myth units. It just means that they get a little bit of extra damage, so they're less shit. Stop drinking on stream, please. I don't do that, except for the times I do, which is rare. What is that comment? I don't understand. Town Center coming up. Pegasus. Castle as well. The other thing about this matchup that I think is somewhat interesting is Orkney Nushi, both of these gods have access to it, comes with the technology Divine Prefecture, which can help make up for villager difference in a pinch. Because you get basically, Divine Prefecture is just like super Rigstula. Just like 60% reduction instead of a 20% reduction in train speed. So your talent centers basically just start churning stuff out. Japanese or Cavciv mainly? Well, I mean, it depends on the matchup, right? This matchup here is tending this way because of the god picks and things like that. But I do think that there's a world tier where you can go a completely different direction than cavalry as Amaterasu, and that would change things. But obviously, Tsukiyomi is a very much a cavalry god. Nice control there from Pegasus to stay back and stay defensive. Plus 60%, not minus 60%. What's the difference? I said a reduction of train speed, so or train time. Reduction of train time, as opposed to a increase in it would be a reduction in train speed as well. What's the difference? I'm confused. My brain hurts. All right. Minus 60% train time, plus 60% train rate. What's the difference? How fast is a villager train? If it's 17 seconds and takes 60%, doesn't it go down by math like 8-ish? Is it not 8? Or is it 12? I don't know. I don't know how this stuff works. $6.8. $17 times 0.6. Yeah. I'm right. 17 times 0.6. That takes us to 10.2. Or is it 10.6? Oh. Yeah, no, I give up. I don't care anymore. Basically, it just makes all your stuff train faster. Isn't it easier to think about it like this town center is working at 1.6 speed, this town center is working at 1.6 speed? So you get instead of if you have one town center, it's like at 1.6. You have 2 town centers, it's like you got 3.2 town centers. That's the easier way to think about it, right? Okay, there we've decided that it's all fine. All right. Mythic Age coming in, and Orkney Nushi is the god of choice here for Pegasus. I do like the inclusion of these Yati Spearmen. This should be really, really... Actually, both players building them, though. Okay, I got no idea. Who's got more armory upgrades here? Pegasus is just in front on armory upgrades. That's why he can sit here. Nice control from Magic, though, as he's going to... We should actually win this fight. And Pegasus will have to run. Fighting underneath the castle. Not the best of ideas there. But... He's managing to get some trades while going up to the next age. Which is kind of a big deal. Because once he gets to Orkney Nushi, then he basically gets immediate iron. Which is kind of a big deal. So long as he can get some like inefficient trades or whatever and keep Magic in the heroic age, he ends up having another quite big timing attack here. As the new moon comes down, does take some time for him to get all the upgrades, but once they're in, these units should be really strong. And he also gets another swampland. Wait, what are you doing? Hello? Huh? Hello? Hello? Did it just die instantly? He died as I used the god. That's hilarious. It's not supposed to... I wonder if that happens with the Son of Osiris as well, with the Pharaoh dying. Because it's the same mechanic, right? If you kill a Pharaoh just as in the same tick that the Son of Osiris god power comes down, I'll have to have a look at that. I mean, he's just going to sit there and do this. Aw. Poor guy. I didn't realize the Shogun even had a bow, like animation. That's kind of cool. Maybe the Shogun should have like a bow special attack. I mean, I'm offering random buffs for more fun sides of things, but Orkney Nushi are going to come in for Magic as well. If we take a quick look, there was immediately Divine prefecture research. He gets the market boosted. He gets the talent centers boosted. All of his buildings are training faster. He's up to champion. Here is well and truly in front on the Bushido because Magic hasn't really been building samurai, so he hasn't been taking advantage of his or shinobi. Hasn't really been taking advantage of his own shenanigans there as the Swampland comes down. And basically this whole problem that Magic's in is all constructed from the Mythic Age advance, the timing that Pegasus got to the Mythic Age here. Oh. Bird's dying. How does he get his Bushido faster? It's because he gets bonus Bushido from researching technologies, whereas Amaterasu gets bonus Bushido from Samurai. Just existing. Like a passive bonus from Samurai existing. So every technology, including the technologies that come through with New Moon, he's just getting extra stuff. So you kind of have to work harder as Amaterasu to get your Bushido in to some degree. But then again, it doesn't work on these guys, does it? Yeah, Samurai and Ondomusha. And 300% more XP outside of combat. Outside of combat? Hello? I don't know what that means. I think it means inside combat. They also get passive, but that's not listed there for some reason. I'm confused. Huh? Does everyone get bonus? Oh, everyone gets bonus samurai. Ah, I see. I'm stupid. Every samurai gets passive, but the samurai gets plus 300%. Okay, whatever. What I said is correct. You get more passive. You get more generation from the samurai. Whatever. So 0.25 times 3, right? Per second. Which is not bad. Count center going down. These are very, very strong. Now, I think if Pegasus built a whole bunch more of these guys, he's got to be careful not to put them right in the face of the Omyoji. He actually would be able to bring this game back, but then again, if he did that, then so too would Pegasus. That would be an interesting situation. Both players spamming those guys. I think that would net be value for Pegasus on the fact that he's got... he could get this tech. %300% increase is 400%? Really? What it would be... 0.25 times 300 times 3. Is that not correct? 0.25 times 3? Is that not correct? How am I wrong on that? Or is it times 4? It is times 4. Okay, my brain stopped working. Yeah, I have to add 1 to it. That's right. That's right. I'm stupid. It's been a rough day, okay? I didn't sleep well. Did not sleep well at all. Alright, Shrine of the Hunt coming down for our main guy. Wait, is that a... Oh, he put it a second time. Okay, that's fine. Alrighty. Couple of Yumi Horse Archers dying over here. We got Tenshu, we got Omyoji. And unfortunately, I think because Magic is missing a talent in here, it's going to be very tough for him to bring this one back. There's not really a water, maybe here. Nah, you can't sneak there. It's going to be tough. Getting back into this game in the Japan mirror. I mean, it's like every mirror. If you're just behind on something, then life is going to be very, very tough. Yumi Archer? Huh? What? Why? Is there a reason for this? Of course, the range is nice, but what's the reason for Yumi Archer right now? I have no idea. Pegasus, what's the reason for the Yumi Archer? Am I missing something? Ah, misclick. Okay, fair enough. Doesn't really matter when you're at. Actually, these guys might be cheaper. So to fill up the extra population you have, it might be the better idea. Is that correct? 75, 45, 90. I'm not sure Magic can survive here any longer, unfortunately. He does have a trade route. He's got some more stuff going on. But this is something that often happens actually with Japan in the late game. Is you often end up like not having the production or something. Either that or Pegasus decides he's not really playing the game anymore. I think he's done this before. He ended up losing because of it. I don't know what happened there. But he just refuses to build units for a little bit. Chickens and unstable chickens plus 0.125. Unstable chickens. We can look at the editor. I'm pretty sure it's like something cheat related. Isn't it Bork Boom? Yeah. Magic on the fight back though, but sooner or later, basically it's a game against the clock of him trying to keep continuing trading until Pegasus basically continue to trade to try and keep Pegasus away from 260 pop or like whatever, but it's a game against the clock there, unfortunately. So yeah, I think this one's done for. So there you go. We speed through it. It's over. GG. Interesting. I mean, obviously Magic's got no idea of what the hashtag meta is, but in a sense, it doesn't really matter what the meta is. You can do whatever you want and win. In certain situations like that one, lots of different ways through. But I would have liked to see what happens with for my own like knowledge, see what happens with the Amano Uzume Raiju Takamikazuchi route, or going for the birds. Can I cast this one? What's this one? It's likely I can cast this one. Ah, Recon and Tunison. Yeah, sure. That sounds like fun. Do I have any mods with extra information but in Spanish? Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything like that. I would consider chatting with Loggy and seeing if maybe he could throw the mod into like an AI, or maybe just throw Loggy's mod into an AI thing and see if you can make it. Just auto translate for it. Of course, it would be a little bit wonky and a bunch of mistranslations, but it's probably your best bet. All right. Let's actually do a proper cast here. I'm gonna get some water and then we'll watch this one because again, I watched this matchup and Kavoth played it really badly, so I'm interested in how Tunison plays it because he was giving Kavoth some of the nonsense. He was saying Kavoth's doesn't understand. So we'll check it out. Let me get some water. Alright. What's that mod that shows you the line of sight? You must mean the advanced tooltips by Loggy. Okay, let's give this a watch. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, assorted members of the jury, 1 minute and 30 seconds into this currently being played Age of Mythology Retold game. We are watching live on the ladder as two effectively... Well, they place top three, both of them, like top three, top two in Pandora's box are going at it. Currently, we also do see this shenanigans going on. We've got the Sat Fat set shenanigans show match going on, and these games are contributing directly to it. We got Tunison currently at second. I see Recon is all the way down at 12th, so he's got some catching up to do. But if he does end up winning this game, then he will be getting himself a lot of juicy points, potentially actually helping Grass get up to top 2. But a lot of juicy points and all the other good stuff where that's concerned. So we got ourselves Recon playing as Amaterasu, and we got ourselves Tunison on his tried and true Oranos on a very, very good Oranos map here as well, this map being Steppe. Nice quick advance from Tunison. I think this is generally correct here versus the Amaterasu. You don't want to let Amaterasu get going here early without taking a little bit of harassment if you can. And yeah, that's the story that I'm going with. So we'll see exactly how Tunison wants to run this. He can either go for a aggressive opening with Murmillo. I don't like this versus Japan. This isn't really what I struggle versus. I think it's not that powerful. I think you're perfectly fine to play Minakata Tomi versus the Murmillos, and it's really fine. You can play a defensive game and get through it. But if the Oranos player opens counter barracks and goes into things like Catapultes, Terma, and Caraballister, depending on what you build, then that's where life gets just a little bit difficult. But anyways, yeah, Minakata Tomi and Oceanus. I'm not surprised to see Oceanus. There is a world where Prometheus is viable, but I think the issue with going Prometheus against Minakata Tomi is that you're spending all your favor on Valors, which leaves you with not enough favor for heroes to defend against the one unit push. So, yeah. When do I play? I'm a retired caster who plays video games in his spare time. I'll play at some point today, but I'm enjoying watching these games. The ladder's never been more active than it has right now, so watching players play the game is the thing that I think I enjoy the most. But yeah. Anyways, we've got the counter barracks is up. We got the military barracks up. And on the other side, we will see a guardhouse and a stable from Recon. Not surprised to see that. Great wall on the back here as well. Love to see these types of walls. These are things that everyone can do. Add this into your game plan to just prevent yourself from getting hit with a raid on the backside of your base and losing all your villages. Very, very nice. Of course, this side as well can get walled off too. And then the only places into your base are right through the middle, and you're good to basically defend everything as the Caladria does come forward, does spot what's happening, sees some archers out, and for the moment here, this is looking very familiar to what I've already seen. This is looking very, very familiar to what I've already seen from Recon. So Tunison as well, I think he was in chat when I was watching his other game. So he's going to know what Recon is actually going for. But the fact of the matter is, even if you know what your opponent's doing, it doesn't necessarily mean that's going to get hard countered or be weak or anything. This gold mine out in the middle of nowhere, this is going to be the hard point here for Recon to actually deal with. I'm a little surprised to see Recon not having dropped the Shrine of the Hunt on the front position here. Because if you have yourself the Huntables here, then all of a sudden actually pushing through and harassing this gold mine becomes very, very tough. Of course, your villagers might get harassed, but you've got a Meekle there to heal them up. And you should be fine so long as you have units there. Meanwhile, over onto the side, Tunison does get himself a Sky Passage there. He's still pumping out units for the time being. And I brought this up already, but I'll say it again. The hard part here for Uranus is that you don't have that safety net of just saying, okay, I'm going to stop building units and go Heroic Age because of the 1 Udor. You have to really be very much in tune with how many units the Amaterasu is building and where the 1 Udor are, how many there are. And equally, the Amaterasu player should also be very, very careful with showing the 1 Udor. So things like garrisoning them into the temple, hiding them, and then popping them out when they feel like they've caught the Uranus player going Heroic Age and things like that. As well, yeah, this is another issue to some degree with this opening, but Bushido is free stuff, but free stuff and getting free stuff and losing a game is not something you want to do. And I'm not actually sure. I don't know. I'd have to watch some Pegasus Rush games to see an alternative way through this. But this way through from Recon, to me, seems pretty solid. The idea of grabbing this town center as well seems incredibly alluring to me. Like, you've got 4 boars, you've got a gold mine, you've got the units out to defend for the time being as well. You could have skipped the upgrades and gone for this town center, and maybe it would have been doable, especially with a Shrine of the Hunt over here as well to help out. But anyways, that's not going to be the plan here for Recon. And I get it. You don't really want to play 2 TC versus Uranus and give them the entirety of the map. But nonetheless, Naginata Riders get a little bit of that pacification in, and they have bled, but they will retreat, and they will get themselves healed up by the Miko, who is sitting there waiting, saying, come back to me, boyos. I will nurse you back to health. As Tunison pokes his head forward. I genuinely think, yeah, now he's getting the catapulties. I genuinely think that Tunison has made a misplay here in going for this amount of Murmillos, but we'll see if it's going to work. Great control from Recon, as is always the case. You want to go box formation on this retreat. Tunison is doing some nice micro, but the Recon micro is looking incredible as Shockwave does get dropped down. The Terma on the back here will be able to snipe some of these units on the back as the Murmillos are going to try and take out those Naginata Riders. But with the 1 Udor in, it becomes scary to get massed up on there. And while the 1 Udor are only doing around about, I don't even know if they're doing 1 crush damage per second with their attack, they are doing some, I think they're doing some divine damage. Yeah, they're doing divine damage every single hit. So it's every 1.8 seconds, they're doing an attack, which is going to be doing 2.78 divine for 5 seconds. So you don't want to sit in that ball and take huge amounts of damage there and lose any units. Fact of the matter, though, is you've got Caladria, so you can stay there for a little bit, as long as you don't lose the guys, and then run and heal up, and that's good. But so too can the Amaterasu get that healing through as well. So there's angles here for both sides, which is perfectly valid, perfectly reasonable, very, very strong. Good ideas, really sneaky Sky Passage coming through here from Tunison. This is out of sight, out of mind to some degree. However, the Wolves might give this away if Recon is paying attention to his minimap. You can actually see, if you look at the minimap, Wolves moving quite a bit. If you notice that, then you know that something happened. I'm giving you some tricks. You might say, boy, that's map hacking. And I say, well, no, that's just part of the game. That's how it works. That's a feature, not a problem. It's a feature, you know? It's not a bug. It's technically a bug. But it's in the game, so use it if you can. Nonetheless, the units coming through, they will take out this sky passage on the side of the map. There's no sneaky citizen here from Tunison. We do have the recon Naginata Rider searching for any sneaky citizen around there, potentially an oracle or something like that, but not going to happen. Not going to find them there. I definitely think that if you can consistently get one sneaky citizen in, like for example, up here, then you or over here or over here, just put one sneaky citizen through every sky passage, every sneaky sky passage you put up. It just allows you to be a thorn in your opponent's backside way more than otherwise, as Recon has now decided it is time to put the pressure on. But Tunison, I think he's made the right call here in this game. He's spammed units. On the flip side here, Recon basically has to shoot and scoot. He can't actually take this fight. He uses the Naginata Riders a little bit, pulls back on his medium Yumi archers. I love the spread formation from Recon here as well, playing around Shockwave a little bit as the Terma get that Shockwave in. Tunison needs to shoot and scoot forward with those Terma. It's tough, but that's the only real micro that he needs to do. Everyone else can just attack move, so all he has to do is focus on the Terma moving forward. He might want to pull some units off here and actually attack these guys, but Tunison continues to charge in here, and Recon continues to pull back. Damage is done, but the control from Recon there is just absolutely out of this world. And Tunison does actually decide, after all is said and done there, to say, all right, I can't win here, so let me pull back, heal up, and go Heroic Age myself. I dealt with the one Udor threat. All that being said, Recon decided to push while going Heroic Age. Could you imagine if he just spent those resources and then did that? That would have been a completely different kettle of fish. Let's just imagine he had 8 samurai. Not 8, he can't have 8. Let's call it 4 samurai. 5 samurai in that army instead of going Heroic Age. I don't think he loses that fight. Fish kettle. Yes, kettle of fish. That's the saying. It's a thing. As Golden Kite going to come through, we've got the copper weapons. We've also got the shaft mine in for Recon. You can also think about putting up a castle. As we will have Hyperion now in Pickaxe 2. And the walls do need to start coming up all across the map if you're Recon. This is the hard part about Step. When you're playing against Uranos on a map like, say, Valley of the Kings or Alfheim, you can shut the Uranos out somewhat easily. So you can shut them out somewhat easily by walls and by walling up. But on a map like this, in order to shut the Uranos out, you have to go wall from here all the way up to here. As the Naginata Rider checking what's going on over here. He's like, hello there. Any oracles? No. Any oracles? No. Main base under threat here as the watchtowers will slow things down a little bit. Terma can poke forward and try and snipe some Yumi archers on the back there. Of course, these Terma are very, very much wanting themselves heavy upgrades here. Very, very much. Does he see this? He has not spotted this sky passage. So Tunison is getting away with murder over there, considering he doesn't have any gold mines at the moment, and this is the only sky passage he has. It's a little bit difficult, a little bit risky here in this game. The other thing here is Terma getting heroized and getting himself heroic renewal allows them to not only be 3 or 4 speed. Maybe it's 5.5 speed, 5.5 speed. Can't remember, but it also gives them the extra HP and regen, which really helps versus the Yumi archers at 19 range. Sky Passage need to be deleted from this game. I think that the Sky Passage I think a very fair nerf for Uranos is sky passages go from 3 to 2. That's my take on it. So in the classical age, you only have 2 sky passages. So if somebody wants to try and go up and do a sky passage somewhere and somewhere else, then they can't have one that's in their main base as well. So you have a point of attack in the classical age. But in the heroic age, I don't really see any problems with 3. In the mythic age, I don't see any problems with 4. But I'm not here to change the game. I just give you my opinion. Tengu dives in, sky passage, gets obliterated. And now Tunison has to make his way over onto this gold mine. But while that goes on, Tunison also says, hello there, castle. Let me try and take that out. These Terma are going to be dealing a grand total of 1 damage. Actually, not even 1. 4.1. That's like 90% off 4.1. It's probably 1 damage per second or something. Not very much. Not even that. Less than 1 damage per second. Anyways, castle does manage to stay alive. And the Naginata Riders will scare Tunison off. Of course, there is chaos. But what do you want to actually drop the chaos on? Is the question. Getting a good chaos onto a Shogun, for example, could be pretty nice. I'm not sure if that actually works, to be honest. But no, I think it does. Does it? No, it can't be targeted by enemy god powers, but I don't know. Anyways, units coming up to the top, checking things out. He can kill off the mana. Searching over onto the bottom here. Is this Oracle going to try and dart towards a safe place in the corner? It does manage to get to safety. I don't think Recon noticed that. Great reactions from Tunison. He's going up to a second town center over here. As the Catapulties will be in for defense. Really smart. He does also have himself weightless mace, so they're very, very quick there as well. Great control from Recon to bait away some other units, but 1 hero Catapulties does stay. That's going to be enough there for the safety, and a third town center as a response here for Recon will come up. He's already got his second town center, but Tunison has been enjoying the Uranos power for quite some time. But even that being said, Recon is going to be able to get to the Mythic Age, and he decides on Takamikazuchi, which I think is a little bit odd, just on the fact that he doesn't really have any infantry units. And Takamikazuchi is the infantry minor god for the Mythic Age. But then again, maybe his plan is to go into that here at some point. Looks like that's not going to be happening just yet. Destroyers slowly starting to come out for Tunison. Hello there, mister. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. I hope your son is doing well. Nice control from Recon, but control does get thrown away as the god powers start coming in, and the army of Recon getting absolutely carved through there. Chaos into Shockwave with all of these Terma is amazing. I don't understand why Yumi Archers are still getting built. This is the thing. Everyone thinks Terma are bad. Everyone thinks Terma are bad. But guess what? Terma are actually really, really good at killing off archers. That's their job. Don't build archers first. Let's get some samurai in here. Samurai would be an amazing addition into this army for Recon. Meanwhile, on the backside here, we see Hecate coming through. There is this town center up for for Recon at the moment. That has to be torn down. A couple of villages were picked off. There's still the back gold mine for Recon for the time being. He's going to be making his way up onto this top side. I want to see sky passages starting to get scattered everywhere. As the sword comes down, and Tunison, he drops 15 pop. Sword is very hit or miss. And that one, I would say, was a bit of a miss. It's not a god power you want to drop on an army that is not already taking damage. It's a god power you combine with your own army such that if they do go for a split, you're getting huge value regardless, right? Nonetheless, the army continues to come in here. Those catapulties still getting some good damage. The Asura gets caught out over here. It will be worth it to drop the Divine Shield down there as well, but that's still going to be a dead Asura as the army of Tunison will start to get mowed down here. Picking off the Asura is nice. The game still in the balance as Recon has managed to hold himself fairly firm, but Hecate is now in. Third Town Center coming up, and ladies and gentlemen, we might be heading towards that ever elusive late game. To be honest, I don't like the Hecate here. I don't like the Hecate here from Tunison. I think Helios is the right call. We're not winning this game with one massive push with a Tartarian Gate. And while actually, you know what? Lampedes makes sense. Lampedes always makes sense against Japan because it's going to be able to help take out those samurai, but you do have to micro very well with them. As the tower goes down, Recon in full send mode as Arcus will slowly start getting dripped into this composition. Realistically, I'm thinking Fnatic here as well. Arcus, mass Arcus hero has to be the kind of play for Tunison with Hecate though. With not Hecate, with Helios though. With Hecate it doesn't make sense. With Hecate you want to just go into some strong infantry comp and overwhelm this with another chaos basically. Infantry, cavalry type idea here would be maybe a little bit more solid, but the army here from Recon is incredibly powerful as we do see some catapulties coming up to the top side. Going to be looking to drop a Tartarian Gate. I want to see it in the main base most of the time here. He looks for a little bit of a raid over onto this gold mine. Maybe hitting it on this town center wouldn't be terrible because it prevents this gold mine from getting grabbed, but there's also gold here. There's still gold over here for just a little bit, and this position dying means this gold mine's going to be open as well. As Tunison says, if you're going to kill my town center, I will kill yours too. We can play this split push game all you like, no problems. Where's the other thing is you don't actually have to drop Tartarian Gate immediately. You can aim for it for when you want to, but you do have to make sure you get your unit in the right place and you're making a nice attack. As a palace coming down, champion archers, champion cav, deciding to come in here for Tunison as well as Recon. Has actually upgraded his archers to champion by himself. He's still a ways away from the tier 4 Bushido, so it sort of makes sense for him to get his other upgrades. And he's actually going to be going into some stronger infantry here. Sumo training and sword jutsu at the moment. That is a wild decision from Recon. He's not going to samurai. He's going into Yari spearman at this point in the game when his opponent has 0 cavalry. Maybe he just got it by mistake. I don't know. But there's 0 cavalry in for Tunison. Oh, excuse me. There's the Terma, but that's it. I guess he just wants to be able to kill off the Terma and allow his Yumi archers to carry him. So Yari Spearmen do have that ability, I guess. What's their speed at? I think it goes up. Anyways. Castle. Gonna get taken down. We do see that Tartarian Gate gets dropped into the main base, but Recon's already here. That being said, Tunison is pushing somewhere, so I like this, but he does need the rest of his army in as a castle goes down right in the face of Tunison. That is a huge move for Recon because now, well, Tunison has to focus here while the Tartarian Gate is getting dealt with. And this isn't that important for Recon. And he might even be able to keep this alive as well. It's going to be close. Castle, 600 HP. The Destroyers decide to pull back. And Recon now in what looks to be full control of this game, with the exception of one little cheeky sky passage behind here. Well, some hero Arcus coming in. Always nice to have these. The HP regen deals with the Asura. More damage on your Arcus. But the palace will get dealt with as the Destroyers are going to sneak in here, and they will be able to take out the castle now, no problems. The only issue is, what's the answer for the Naginata Riders right now? Catapulties are getting queued out for Tunison, but like, where are they? How is he going to kill those off? Surely the Naginata Riders and the Yumi Archers are going to be enough here. Well, I guess Chaos is the answer. Chaos is always an answer. Why build Myth Unit when you can just Chaos? Do you imagine if he had 3 Lampedes in and the chicken upgrade rather than that Chaos? He would have killed off 4 Naginata Riders. He would have Chaosed 4 of them for them to be attacking themselves. And that's better than the Chaos was. A little bit of damage onto the Recon Talent Center at the top as the castle or palace is at the back here. He can almost take that Talent Center down. We'll see if the army comp here from Tunison can actually get built fast enough, break through this, and basically get himself a Talent Center back and almost, I don't even know, translate his advantage right now, which is small. It's mostly just on income. He has to translate his advantage and income into a tangible advantage with town centers or gold mines or things like that as the destroyers are going to come back in, try and take the town center down again. Meanwhile, Recon going for another town center grab. I'm not sure he can afford this. Nonetheless, the Naginata Riders coming through. And these Catapulties are just destroying. The mincemeat, making these Naginata Riders look like paper as they charge into their death. And the question is really, I mean, what are the Arcus even doing in this? I don't even understand. He's trying to take out the Yumi Horse Archer, sorry, the Yumi Archers, but I just don't understand the Arcus at this point. Of course, you want Arcus to maybe deal with Samurai and things like that, but Fanatics now going to start coming in. Makes perfect sense. Fanatics will take out the Naginata Riders, have a little bit more survivability, and the Terma will come in and try and take out the Yumi Archers. At Champion, 17 range. That's looking quite nice, to be honest. If you can get the Catapulties in the front, move forward with the Champion Terma onto the back line, should be a way forward as the Destroyer is coming back onto the town center again, but Recon has defended that for the time being. I guess the one good thing here is that the Destroyers moving forward will make life hard for Recon, because Recon has to like click in the right spots. As the Terma not sure what that misclick was from Tunison. They don't need to get that close to the Yumi Archers, but they are having issues attacking at the moment. And is now moving into Contarius as an idea. Sort of makes sense, but this does allow the Yati Spearmen some value and all the other good stuff. I'm not sure Tunison is getting out of this one going through Hecate like he did. If he went Helios, would have been a completely different story, in my opinion, but he's still got some issues to deal with. Goldmine situation, however. This could be a problem for Recon, because Recon doesn't have a corner set up. This back corner needs to be dealt with. He needs to get over there. He doesn't have a market. He does have himself 3,500 gold, 1,400 gold, 900 gold over there, 6,000 gold for Tunison, and Tunison already has a trade route. So the question is actually, can Tunison get some half-decent trades to keep Recon playing in this game until he runs out of gold? And then find the win there. That's kind of it. But we'll see if he can actually make it work or not. It's going to be tough. Destroyers over onto this side. Naginata Riders are in to defend. Recon is well and truly aware that something is going on up here. He sees the sky pass. It's not the palace, but there is little to no chance for Tunison to make any ground over on this side. As the Naginata Riders will dive in here, and this is not the trade that Tunison needs. Tunison needs trades which are forcing Recon to spend gold. Then he did not spend any gold here at all. Another palace going up into the middle, but the Yumi archers taking down the poor destroyer here with only 76% pierce armor. He's getting himself his final pierce upgrade, but without that Atlas, it's a little bit lackluster versus those supercharged 10.1 pierce damage Yumi archers. But I think here for Tunison, his days are numbered, and Recon looks like he is going to be running away with the victory here. Still trying to make it work with the split pushing, doing everything he possibly can here. But when it comes down to it, he didn't play for the late game. He played for a Mythic Age victory by going through Hecate. Didn't really use the Hecate advantages either by not going into Lampedes, which kind of hurts. I think if he did do that, then things might have been a little bit different here, because the Naginata Riders, they're not cheap. It's good value with the Lampedes. But anyways, the gold mine now secured. Of course, there is already 46 llama caravans. But the problem with 46 llama caravans here is that Recon has 0 trade. But he has gold income, and he has full population army. His army is absolutely gigantic. So you got a tiny army with very little population to be supporting that, versus a gigantic army. So it doesn't even matter that there's all of this gold income coming through for Tunison. It's the citizens going down. This one Omyoji is getting away with murder here. It is quite weak to just getting targeted. There you go. It will go down here pretty quickly. Generally, if you have like 3 or 4 of them, you can. Well, if you have 2 of them, one of them can out heal the town center to some degree. I think. No, it can't. But it can make the Omyoji just run back and forth and dodge the arrows. But anyways, there's not a whole lot here for Tunison to do. He's trying to spam out units. He's making some fire siphons, going after this town center. He will be able to take it. No, he won't be able to take it out. 200 HP in a dream. 100 HP. 60. 30. He kills it. He kills it. Chaos onto what? I have no idea what he used chaos on. It's on one unit somewhere. Where's the chaos? Up here? I have no idea what he used it on. Oh, he used it on the Omyoji. He used it on the Omyoji. That's funny. There's all of these llama caravans going to be getting smacked down, and I think that has to be their time for Tunison to throw in the towel. A hard-fought game from Recon. I think there was chances for Tunison without question here. There was definitely a spot here where Recon was going very heavy into like Cav and Archer, and we didn't really see him countering the army of Tunison, but he managed to get through that position somehow. The other thing that's weak about this Yumi Archer comp is Vortex. So that's got to be something for Tunison to think about for next game. Against this type of Yumi Archer play, go Helios, Vortex on top of the Yumi Archers, Chaos, kill the entire thing. Very, very, very strong. Tunison's a fighter, man. He's getting it on the town center up. His trade route is absolutely kaput. He's got 450 gold in the bank. But that there is the dub. Recon gets a win versus Tunison, and I wonder if this is updated. Do we see the difference for the SatFat set shenanigans leaderboard already? If I click this here, Tunison is still number 2. I don't know if that has been. Wait, if I click this here, does it change? No, Tunison's still up there, but I imagine Recon's climbed up a little bit after that game. But anyways, GG. If you guys enjoyed this one, this was an awesome game here from both players. If you guys enjoyed this one, make sure to follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game. Let me just have a cheeky little look-see here on the ladder. I'm very interested in what actually happened there. So Tunison lost, and Recon won, but he didn't move. I think he just got like a couple points there for that win. This is brutal. Yeah, the SatFat set shenanigans ladder is very much a I think it's very much incentivizes playing as many games as you possibly can. Of course, you have to win the game still. You've got, for example, Jack at rank 5 with a 46% win rate. But he's played 62 games, more than anyone else on this ladder. That's why he's up there. Anyways, let's pop over here. What are we going to do now? Let's have another little look-see at the old lobbies and see if there's anything good happening. Tunison and Matador now going at it in another crazy Oranos game. Sure. What's that SSS thing, ladder? So right now there is a tournament going on, basically just to promote activity and stuff in the game. And it's basically just like everyone who's 1900 plus gets thrown into a ladder that, yeah, a ladder for just 1900 plus players. And then if they end up meeting another 1900 plus player on the ladder, then the game will count towards the SatFat ladder. Let me show you the thing here. There's actually a handbook at the top of this. Oh, I need to eat something. I'm gonna have a quick muesli bar. I'll be right back. All right. Yeah, so SatFat's graciously donated, I think it's like something like 500 USD for a tournament. And it's just show matches every Sunday for 4 weeks. Is it $100 for each show match? No. That's in the handbook, I think. Let me read it. I'm not really in charge of this this tournament. I'm just casting. Prize distribution is for the first versus second placement match, it's 70 USD. For the third versus fourth match, it's 40 USD. And for the activity match, it's 15 USD. So whoever has the most games played will play in the activity match. Whoever comes third versus fourth will play in that one, and first versus second, etc. And that's each week for that prize money, which is really, really cool. Very, very cool. I think we're going to be running this type of tournament multiple times with different rule sets and things, but I think this is like an awesome, awesome tournament for the community, for the scene. So what's the dealio? Do people think that the Aztecs are overpowered now? What's everyone saying about the Aztecs' power strength? Super broken, balanced. Ben says OP. Do you mean Aztecs in general? Or do you just mean Huitzilopochtli? Most Aztec fast heroic, yeah. I like that the fast heroic is one of the main strats. I like it. I think that's good. It's like Satfat's fast heroic with set. It's nice. The optimal strats for each god are really strong, but they are a little narrow. No. Disagree. I disagree. Mr. Ben QVH, I disagree. People get stuck into the optimal strats and then they stop searching. I guarantee you there are other ways to play this Civ. And if you want to have fun with it and you want to explore, you'll find those ways. But if you just want to win and you don't care, you just keep rotating that, keep running that OP strat until someone else does it for you. And then you just copy it. So it's like, what's the point in working out all the fun strats, right? When everyone's just going to steal them from you. You know what I mean? I enjoy making the strats, so I do it. But there's definitely a whole bunch of different ways to play. The strong ones are really strong. There's some other there's other strats I haven't seen people doing that are also really strong. We are seeing, I think this is unequivocally the incorrect option versus Oranos early on. We're going to be seeing the Ocelotl Warriors versus Murmillo opening. So this is, how do I explain this? Holy sky passage and a half? That's wild. The problem with this opening from Matador is that he's building a suboptimal unit versus the Murmillo. The only chance that he has of winning the fights is... Actually, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on this one. Because these guys have got plus HP. Ooh, I could be wrong. Maybe the Quetzalcoatl Jaguar Ocelotl Warriors are beating up on the Murmillos. Tezca doesn't feel good. I think Tez feels great. But I think Tez needs the bug fixed. When the bug's fixed, he'll feel really fun. At the moment, you only get the snake or the armadillo or whatever. But yeah. Okay, nice shockwave, nice damage shift. And once you get in the advantage with the Murmillos, then the catch-up should basically never be able to happen. Watchtower's forced. And wife about to be a little tricky. Now, if... Oh, Matador's going for heroic age behind this? What the hell? I think if Matador just opened up with Tequiwa archers, he's in a really good spot, no? Of course, then you might see Terma, but you can like say, great, you're building Terma now, I'm going to go heroic age and build myself my Eagle Warriors, and we're good. To some degree. Anyways. Or we can make some coyote warriors or things like that. Yeah, Vindicator's got a strat as well that you guys haven't seen. I'm not gonna mention it. I remember he was talking to me from the YouTube chat while I was in Japan, and I was saying, yeah, that strat seems actually really, really good. But yeah, no one's really tried it just yet. And it does involve like using the war hut. So not a fast heroic strat. Very, very strong. 110% very, very strong. And it would be incredibly strong in this situation as well, right? Even without having other gods that are better at it. Anyways. Kalpuli coming up over onto this side. Any game with a good use of ambush mode? I'm not gonna lie. I think the ambush mode is more of a campaign feature. Campaign feature, and yeah, it's... I have a little bit more knowledge on what ambush mode is, what they were trying to do. I don't really think I'm at liberty to say exactly what was going on behind the scenes. If they wanted to say, they could, but long story short, things were different and it didn't really work. So that's the story there. Do you get more DPS from jumping out of the forest? Stealthy. If initiated from stealth effect, attack interval X 0.67. Okay, so it's doing more damage. That's actually interesting. I didn't know that. So I guess, yeah, there's a lot of value in doing the ambush. So yeah, doing something like that makes sense. And that can probably give them the value that they need versus the Mamillos. Poor bunny gets chopped down. I had an amazing idea for a buff for the bunny rabbit, by the way. So I'm going to tell you guys. I said it in the Age of Empires Discord, so I hope the devs were watching. But the rabbit, when it gets to max veterancy, so that's rabbit number 4. So when you have 6 rabbits, it should unlock a special ability that is very similar to the tiger from China, the Baihu from China, and it basically jumps in and gnaws on the unit. Should do that without question. That should be what happens. Nobody else, no one's allowed to disagree with me. I think it's 100% what should happen. Huge buff for the rabbit. Separates the good rabbit players from the bad rabbit players. I think a beauty. Okay. Now, Tunison says, time for all of the heroes. Matador went for a different option here. He's gone Earth Monster. And his Eagle Warriors will start to shoot and scoot. Nice control from Tunison to pull his units back that have taken damage. But Matador is in a little bit of a difficult spot when it comes to actually getting out onto another gold mine here. Earth Monster getting dropped down onto this side will give a little bit of reprieve for him as he gets a couple of kills, and then the units will pop out onto this spot here at the end of this Earth Monster. Nothing else to grab, and they will pop out after, I think, the 3rd units that swallowed right onto this area here where the initial one was cast. And Tunison says, I can actually take this fight here. The Armadillo bowling pins through the middle. Carnivora in, Shockwave comes down. Tunison wants as much damage as he possibly can. He is fighting underneath the Tsompatli tower, though, and those Eagle Warriors are replenishing quickly as Matador does manage to survive that big attack. Nice defense. He can move over onto the Kalpuli here, onto the gold mine, drop a Kalpuli, put some more military buildings down. He's played a good defense thus far, and he's gotten out of the issue that Tunis has been presenting very, very, very well. But just because he survived doesn't mean the game's over. Tunison hasn't really gone mass commit to anything in particular. So the game's still somewhat close. How are the Eagles healing? They've got access to this technology here, which is Patli infusions, 10% extra HP, as well as an 0.25 regen. A lot of players really like that upgrade. I like the 10% healing. The actual regen, to be honest, isn't that crazy. I'm not that crazy for the regen. But the upgrades that I am crazy for is where is it? I think this upgrade is sorely overlooked. This one. Tepon Artsley drums with plus 10% speed. I think that upgrade is really, really, really overlooked at the moment. So the Eagle Warriors go up to like 5 speed. The Tequila Archers go up to 5 speed. Of course, you don't get access to the Agave Bloom, which is amazing, but you get access to Lullaby, which is equally amazing. So what you going to do? If Ville's moving faster, I don't really care for. It doesn't really do much for me, but yeah, the units moving faster, like everything faster is wild. That's like Aranos. You just give the Legacy Aranos to have more speed to everything, and now everything's just bonkers. On top of that, there's also the laser boys, the laser turrets. I still don't know how to say those, but the laser turrets versus specifically Atlantean, but a whole bunch of other civs. They're inarguably amazing. They're an amazing unit. Matador now searching for oracles. He basically searches everywhere, but he misses 2 there. Nice defensive movements from Tunison. Doo-doo! What's going on, man? The Rock Midgets. I like that name. But laser turrets, laser boys. My laser boys are they're good. Anyways, we got the Ontarios coming through, Sons of the Sun. We've also got Gemini. So important here is for Matador to actually be thinking about getting some Tlalmani Spearmen. This is a unit that is really, really good for the Aztecs. Or he can go into Sean ones immediately. Effectively, if you go Sean 1, a handful of Spearmen, and Eagle Warriors, you've got literally everything counted. But all your units are really strong. I'm doing great today. Today's a fantastic day. The only thing is that my neck's sore. I gotten old, and I can't sleep properly anymore. That's the big problem. Uh-oh. Eagle Warriors in the middle of the map. Oh, I like that. That's actually hilarious. Dive in. Wait, is he in ambush mode? This would be your ambush mode technique. This is where you would turn it on. Oh, is Sean 1 coming in for the stun? Stun him. Stun him. Use the stun and run. Okay, it's fine. Up onto this side, though. Coming onto the back, there is Chaos. Chaos onto the Eagle Warriors and just clean house would be very, very, very strong for Tunison, but not happening. We see String of Hearts coming through. This is another gigantic technology for the Aztecs. Basically, the Aztecs have got like 1 technology in each of their minor gods, which is just S tier. Look at the damage these guys are doing. Absolutely S tier. And String of Hearts is one of them. This thing is arguably the best technology for the Aztecs, arguably, but it's inside of a god that is a little bit less powerful in terms of myth units and things like, and god powers and things like that. That's how it's sort of balanced out. It's crazy. These Eagle Warriors is so strong. Of course, it's 32 of them, so you have to imagine that if I had 32 Chariot Archers or I had 32 Yumi Horse Archers, they would also be doing very well at sniping the Kontarios from afar. Now the Sky Passage can get taken down really quickly because each of these Eagle Warriors have got crush damage. Genius. Down center up for Matador. The citizens will make their way over onto the settlement, and we'll see where to next. Whoa. So much value from these Eagle Warriors. So much. How do you beat these Eagle Warriors, you guys ask? Well, just build yourself 30 Contarius, and or probably even 20 Contarius, drop Chaos, and then kill them all. That would be the correct way to go about this, because these take a while to train. They are very expensive. Look at that. Look at that value. 33 kills. 6,500 HP. Fourth town center coming up from Tunison over onto this side. Matador, he sees this because he has a Kimichin spy on it, and Tunison going to be very upset at losing a handful of citizens here. Being able to hit moving cavalry is stupid. I mean, I know coming from Legacy, it is what it is, but I don't think I mind it, to be honest. I don't think this is as, like, Matador is catching Tunison out. I think Matador's outplaying Tunison quite heavily with these Eagle Warriors. They shouldn't be able to get that much value out in the middle of the map. Like, being here and getting value versus Contarius is not a, oh, that unit's OP. That's a, oh, one player is misplaying type of situation. If you ask me. There are 5 Satyr out at the moment as well. He does have his upgrade for them. Plenty of these Satyr. These are really, really good. Really helpful. Lots of favor in the bank, actually, for Tunison as well. So we'll see how he's going to go with cleaning all the other good stuff up. Heavy infantry. Pickaxe coming through for Tunison. And up to the top side. Matador's moved out. I mean, to be fair, had Matador not gotten the value with these Eagle Warriors that he's gotten, he might actually end up just be losing this game on the spot, because his economy is quite shot. Nice attack there from the Satyr. Huge damage done. He's got to drop Chaos early and get in with a full population army. He doesn't have another choice here. He's got 7 military barracks. Nice snipes onto the citizens at the back. Now the army comes through. Now the Chaos is down. There goes the Satyrs. That there is damage, and the Tailwind cast to get out of there. Oof. Eagle Warriors down to 21 as he gets out of there. And Tunison pounces, and all of a sudden, he is back in there. He could have Shockwave, but I don't know if that would have been quite worth it. I mean, now he just has to wait for another Chaos. But more importantly, just go Mythic Age through Helios. The ultimate counter to this army comp here that Matador's building is going to be Helios. Behind this, we see Xolotl coming. Oh, I like this idea. Xolotl for the Soul Guides. Because he doesn't have a workable myth unit against the... How do I say this? He doesn't have a workable myth unit against the Vortex. But the Soul Guide is that workable myth unit versus the Vortex. Makes a lot of sense. But Vortex isn't on the way anytime soon, as these villagers try to dukage. They don't manage to. Does get caught out. Drops the food off. But he's going to lose every one of those villagers. Unfortunately there for Matador. He didn't have his wall set up, and or at least a wall here with a gate. Didn't have something set up for him to have some security for his villagers. But nonetheless, he will have his Xolotl on the way. I'm excited to see how this works, because this is a unit I've got my eye on for being possibly overtuned. I haven't really looked at the numbers at all. I haven't experienced it in game in a negative way yet, so I don't really know. But I think that it's overtuned, is my feeling. But I can't confirm that, so I wouldn't go out and say anything about it until I've confirmed it. But we'll We'll see if that ends up being the case in this game. I want to see Matador going for those soul guides here. Of course, there's also the Mythic Age spike that just comes naturally with the Aztecs, where you sacrifice a whole bunch of units into your Great Temple and all the other good stuff. And Contarius sneaking back into the main base of Matador again. I would say infuriating, but I'd also say, my guy, you just wall in your, you just have to wall in your base. We're playing Age of Empires 2 here, man. Eagle Warriors in, Contarius have to bail, and the villagers can get back to work. As the attack here from Matador while he's getting attacked is nice. As the town center does fall, but Helios is now on the way. Satyr Contarius is going to be a very scary army to deal with. As upgrades like Twisted Limbs, Champion Noble Heart, Shipla coming through. The villagers over here trying to keep themselves going. Do have that one soul guide for the time being. Helios is a lot more popular. Yeah. I think it got popular. Well, it got buffed a long time ago, and it took a while to sort of catch on why it was so good. And I think my thought was, Helios, why would I go Helios? It just doesn't make sense. I've got sky passages. I don't need to teleport around the map because I can just do it automatically. But the fact of the matter is that the Vortex helps you keep your army 110% alive at all times. So, or in this case, helps you take out a whole bunch of these archers with a Vortex Chaos. These Satyr just chilling. There will be a Super Tejupla sooner or later, though, right? As the Kimichin spies getting spammed into here. He needs 15 of them before he gets his myth unit shenanigans. And he is getting Burning Pitch now as well, which is going to turn these Eagle Warriors that are doing, well, 0.7 crush damage per second up to, I think it's times 4 or something. Maybe it's times 5. I can't remember what the actual thing is. What is it? 3. So times 4. 0.7 times 4. Which is a very, very large amount of damage for all those Eagle Warriors to do. But that's not the Vortex I was expecting to see. As he decides to go straight for the town center, killing off a bunch of villages is perfectly fine and reasonable. But look at this on the backside. The units all diving in. There goes the corrupted ground as the myth units will do a very large amount of damage. All of those Tlalcan X Quimili to come through. This was the idea from Matador. Without question, all these units are still suffering from the corrupted ground, I think. So if he gets in and actually takes some of them down, they'll pop out with the, whatever you call this unit. And all of these units are going to be getting picked off as the Satyr trying to get around, trying to get it onto the Eagle Warriors. But Matador's kiting here, beautiful, as he does manage to deal with the majority of this army. But there goes the Chaos. The Satyr do come through. Huge damage onto those units, but not going to be enough there, as a incredibly well-played defense from Matador. But now there's no Mythic Age God Power. Now the Vortex Chaos is available. Town Center is going to be coming back up. A whole bunch more Destroyers actually coming through for Tunison. I'm not sure if he's going to just go for a bunch of Vortex attacks to take Town Centers down and try and kill off Matador. But I think the idea of doing a whole bunch of Contarius still makes sense, rather than the Destroyers. And then just Vortexing on top of the Eagle Warriors just makes sense. Yeah, unfortunately, the way that the owl works, it's really, really bad by itself. Like, it's this final omen passive is actually really strong, but it's only one unit that gets to take advantage of it, unless you have multiple of them. So if you have multiple of the Tunkuluchu, they're really, really good. Like if you have 3+, they're all going to be using their special together, and then they can have multiple attempts to actually use that or proc that Omen of Death. But if you just got one, it's a little lackluster. Now we've got the Centamanus coming through. The Destroyers attempting to destroy here. We do have Sean ones in. They're going to be amazing versus these Destroyers. A Soul Guide will come through, but this guy a little bit scary versus the Hero Destroyers. Unfortunately, we're not seeing Matador really going into the Soul Guides here. He is getting himself the tech for them, so he will be at some point. He hasn't really sacked a whole lot into the temple just yet, but he can. I think these are costing gold, right? Does he have plenty of that? Oh, they're costing wood. Excuse me. That makes them even better, right? Wood costing unit. We'll see how they go. This upgrade makes them have like a air of effect thing for special, so you basically get to play with corrupted ground happening all the time, which is really nice. That's Citizen going to be getting popped over there, and over onto this bottom side. A little bit of a raid coming as the Great Temple has been spotted. The Sky Passage is up. A little bit of pain there for Matador as he's going to get sent back home. Of course, take down the Sky Passage. There's 2 Sky Passages here. That's nice play from Tunison. You can just spam Great Temples for free? I mean, you have to build the Great Temple though, right? That's still 10 favor and 600 resources. I mean, if you're short on favor, sure, but Quetzalcoatl Incarnate is out. Main base, however, that's going to be under attack as Tunison's just like, yeah, well, if you're not going to deal with my army, I'm just going to kill your base. A couple of Sean ones aren't really going to stop anything here. And Matador will tap out in that moment as he's not quite able to keep up with the Urano's Pain Train. A nice try here from Matador, but Tunison had all the answers. I really enjoyed that game. I think the this idea with the corrupted ground was really nice, and Tunison didn't fall for it. I thought he was going to go for what I was suggesting, which I think would have been a bad idea, which is Vortex Chaos on top of that army, but then corrupted ground would happen and you're stuck there. But yeah, really interesting try from Matador. He got into a decent position, but could not quite convert into a win. GG. We've had a whole bunch of banger games today. Do. Those Eagle Warriors need a nerf yesterday? Or maybe if you would just kill them instead of running away from them and letting your cavalry die, then you wouldn't be thinking that. Like, come on, man. You just look at you've got 5.8 speed Contarius. We're gonna do this, and you're gonna sit there and you're gonna watch. I'm gonna go 15 Contarius versus whatever it was, 30 Eagle Warriors. We're going to go with this one versus this one. Okay. Now, this would be what you shouldn't do. Yeah, this doesn't really work. I can just sort of just run away and it's fine. And this is all good. All right, we're dealing with all this stuff. Doesn't really work. All right. But if you do it the other way and you get yourself a couple more Contarius, and then you just do this.
Bureg, Mak, Yuji. Skopos, Yuji. Skopos.
And then you do this. Now all of a sudden he's dead. You see what I'm saying? So if he's out in the middle of the map like he is, we just go kill him. Easy. Easy. Only with Uranus. Yeah, exactly. Only with Uranus. Everyone else doesn't matter. If you don't have Shockwave and Chaos, then you got to cry in Twitch chat. Much better idea. Okay, I'll give you some other options. As Greek, you want to build this unit. This unit's really good versus the Eagle Warrior. Where is it? This one. This one's quite good versus the Eagle Warrior as Greek. As Egyptians, I would consider building this unit, especially with this upgrade and this upgrade. It's very good versus the Eagle Warrior. Norse. Norse, I would consider using this god power and then surrounding it with these units. Where are they? And then winning. Or putting walls around. You probably could make the raiding cavalry work there with Thundering Hooves as well. But these guys, I'd probably build this guy. This guy seems pretty good versus the Eagle Warrior. These guys will cry versus the Eagle Warrior. It's very, very strong versus the Japanese, but the Shinobi is your answer. So you probably want to go for either Shinobi or Raiju to deal with the Eagle Warrior. Also, Omaraki are very good versus the Eagle Warrior because you can just use the special on the ground and that can be enough. And then obviously Eagle Warrior versus Eagle Warrior. I think Coyote Warrior is buildable versus the Eagle Warrior. That was something I was going to test, but you want to grab this tech. Where is it? You want to grab this tech. No, not that tech. Yes. Yes, this tech and this tech. These two techs. And then the Eagle Warrior should feel a little bit shit. The only problem is that then you have to deal with the Myth unit that's coming as well. So that's a tricky one. So you have to build these guys to deal with the Myth units. But anyways. Yeah, but Recon, Tunison misplayed that. You shouldn't have won that game. Mr. was in chat saying you were playing real bad. It wasn't even me. I was like, wow, Recon's so good. And then Mr. just comes in and goes, he did this wrong, he did this wrong, he did this wrong, he did this wrong, he did this wrong. All right, let's watch another game. Oh, we got Rapple versus Mildly Rusty Magic. Love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, you did misplay. I like that you build Terma, but you got to get better at controlling the Terma. That was really bad. I brainstormed the Coyote upgrades. I got stuck if they ran into Myth units, but didn't think of adding the Shenik. Yeah, I think that's the idea. You make the Shenik, you make the laser turret boys, especially with Kets, and well, even more so with this guy. I think this makes sense. I think, but I haven't tried it. So it's just one of those things that's on the list to give it a go. Free range Terma, guaranteed grass fed. True. Yeah, Terma are a hard unit to use. You have to control them really, really well for the entirety of the game, which is very tough. If you misclick them, then they die. Which sucks, but that's how the game works. Play well or don't use the unit. Alrighty, so we got another game here. This one's going to be fun. We got mildly Rusty Magic at the top of the map playing as Amaterasu, and we have the Rapple at the bottom of the map playing as Isis. I think I'm going to watch from the Rapple's perspective mostly here because I am interested in how he's going to be approaching this matchup with Isis. Everybody's been saying Isis very, very strong recently. I do think that the Egyptians in particular have had quite a lot of anti-Egyptian added recently to this game. So the Aztecs, for example, feel incredibly good versus the Egyptians. Not to say that the Egyptians can't beat the Aztecs, but the Aztecs feel great versus the Egyptians. Oh no, he's Rusty. Moose! What's happening, man? I saw you were streaming early. Did it go? Did you have a good stream? I can't even remember what my thought was. This would be interesting. One of Egypt's bad matchups. Yes, the Japanese with Minakata Tomi is something that's threatening to the Egyptian. I think Egyptian can play through this though. Out of sync is killing it. Yeah, I kind of just watch lobby games at the moment, to be honest. That or I run the recorded game through off stream and then I cast the game for YouTube. Try to avoid recorded games as much as possible. Amaterasu is S tier god. I don't know if I go so far as to say she's S tier. I think she's a solid god though. I think she's got some tough matchups. I feel like if you're an S tier god, you basically don't have any bad matchups. That's my take on it. But that's just me. Hence why Uranus is S tier and basically nothing else is. But okay, Amano Uzume for mildly Rusty Magic is... Don't know about this versus Egyptian, actually. I think, especially not on this map, but it is open on the left side. Not that Magic would have really scouted exactly what's going on and made that connection that all of this is open. Therefore, he's got a lot of angles into the Isis space, but Egypt is still S tier for you. I mean, at some point you have to say they're kind of bad versus Kronos. Egypt, kinda. I don't know if I fully believe they're bad versus Kronos just yet, but it seems like everyone sucks versus them, so I have to drop it at some point. They're bad versus Uranus without question. They're mid versus... Like, Gaia is okay versus Egyptians, so the Atlanteans are doing fine versus Egyptians. Aztecs are without question good versus the Egyptians. And... What was the other... And we're now saying that Amaterasu from the Japanese is good versus the Egyptians. So the list of gods that you're like, I don't really want to run into that god with the Egyptians is starting to increase. At some point you have to say that means something. Doesn't necessarily mean that we should buff Egyptian, but anyways, buildings all coming down here from Rapple. He does manage to protect his gold mine nicely. Really nice play here. I love this building placement. The only thing... Actually, no, I just love this building placement as the Egyptians. Nothing to worry about here, and the Kamotachi will run away. I don't know about Aztecs yet, and I don't know if they're bad versus Atlanteans. There's probably some good maps for... you're probably right. There's some good maps for Egyptians versus Atlanteans. There's some. Without question. So if you're going to be playing tournament situations and picking Egyptian and playing around the Atlanteans, then yeah, I think you've got that option there. Nice snipe from Magic on the Anubite. Yeah, for sure. You got that option. Like, build like pick Egyptian on X map that Atlantean is just not going to be good versus the Egyptians on. But you're not going to pick ISIS on like a map like Steppe, for example, right? Like that would probably not make sense versus Atlanteans. Did he not put the tree down? Magic! No, he doesn't know what the tree does. People usually play Ra or Set there. Yeah, but then they lose. That's where all of the losses come from. It's not a good like that classical fight. I don't even think that works anymore versus the Atlanteans, but that's just me. Okay, Rappel up to the top for the ball. Magic on 2 TC with his Amaterasu. Wait, what is this? This is a ridiculous town. Why that town center? You have 1, 2, and deer here. It's obviously far away, but it's not that hard to just secure it with a bunch of priests. That's wild. I'm breaking Dudu's herd. What do you mean? What did I say? Sapphire, what did I say? Heart? What did I say? No, Dudu is the best. He's better than everyone. Nice cheeky Anubite raids as Magic is on the defense nicely. Classical fighting Egyptian. Well, I mean versus Atlantean. It's difficult. It's difficult to make work, no? Am I going crazy? I feel like I am. Like if I'm playing Uranos versus a classical fighting Egyptian, I'm just like doing this. Aren't I? Don't I just win that? I swear you just win that. Maybe I'm going crazy. Anyways, tree is now down for Magic. I heard. Where's the tree? Oh, it's on the front. He gets the... Yeah, awesome. Only Dudu can make it work. True. I mean, at the very least, it's like a skill matchup from the Uranos. Like if the Uranos just plays well, then they should be fine. Plague of Serpents. Magic comes knocking on the door. Rappel says, I'm not home. Please deal with my serpents. Shockwave and Proms versus Darkslingers. It sounds kind of good. Yeah. Yeah, Prometheus works. I've seen Oceanus work there. The big problem is that you run into Satyr and Chaos, right? That's the big problem. And there's like a whole bunch of ways that the Uranus player can just get to the heroic age while still having like 2,000 gold left in their main base. This is really nice for Magic because he gets a whole bunch of Bushido in, I think, from killing off all of those serpents. Rappel does buy himself a little bit of time here, but I'm not sure he wants to be taking this fight. Sniping that Pharaoh was huge for Magic. The Nubite not going to be doing a whole lot versus the Bushy. Got to get the slingers out and deal with that one as the village is in the middle of the map here. I mean, the thing that Rappel probably should have done is just come to this corner here. If he's going to be up here and be in here, like as far away from the units, but he doesn't know that all the units are coming from this left side. And now he's just in trouble. And I think Magic has caught Rappel with his pants down. Magic already preparing Eggy Week titles. Yeah, look, as I said, like ISIS is just not that good anymore. I'm on team Magic side, but I think the correct play here is if you scouted that town center going up, just go heroic age and just go and win, because I don't think you can hold that versus 1 TC fast heroic. Oh dear. Nice win from Magic though. Really solid. Maybe we can make the ISIS buildings 20% cheaper. Yeah, we should make the houses 20% cheaper for ISIS. I think that'd be a good boost. I might think about what to do next tonight. I've been watching a lot of games, and all that other good stuff. If I was to say, let's play a team game, who would be down? I don't know why people make 50 house builds as Egyptian. Just make a few priests. Let's go 1500 plus team game. Let's have some fun. I think building all the houses is fine, and skipping out on the on building a butt ton of priests is fine. I don't see an issue with that. I also don't see an issue with doing both. I also don't see an issue with doing 2 houses and then walls. Or sorry, 4 houses and walls. I think that's fine as well. Look at this guy's ranked team score. This guy's crazy. When did I lose? Was this with Chrono JJ? Is that why was that my loss? Gosh darn it. We need some team game players that aren't going to be picking on me. F-Pod's in the chat. F-Pod is in here. The pod. The pod is here. I'm terrified. I'm about to get owned by the F-Pod shenanigans. What even is an F-Pod? That's the question that keeps me up at night. What even is an F-Pod? Come play. I know you want to. This is You know what? That's kind of true. Maybe I should have done it like that. I should start playing ranked again and see if you can get 1500. Of course you should. Triple deconstruct Norse Temple GG new team game meta. I think that gets counted by our counter team play though. Like if, say, somebody actually helps their Norse teammates survive the triple count Chronos Rush with their own god powers, then you're good. Do not think about it too hard, just accept the F-Pod. I think the F is fucking N pod. So fucking pod like this. Like he's done it again. You know what I mean? Like fucking pod. You know what I mean? I think that makes sense. We go triple Chronos. If you go triple Chronos versus me and my teammates don't come save me, I'll cry. Yeah, at some point I'll cast one of these Mythic Clan League games, but there's just none that's been... Pato? Alright, we'll go F-Pod and Pato on a separate team and the rest of us can go random. I think that'll probably be as balanced as we're going to get. F-Pod, Pato, diff team, and we go. No, because the worst thing would be like F-Pod and Pato being on the same team and then whoever else gets on there is just over. Let's go on a land map because nobody likes playing team games on water maps. Yeah, it's a team game. We avoided the Kavoth in the team game. I couldn't be more happy. What a nightmare to play against that guy. I got Loki. Let's go. All right. let's jump over here. Who's on my team? Satfat and F-Pod. All right. Don't let me down, Pod. Pod man, don't let me down. They have Gaia, Zeus, Ra, 2 incredibly economic Deuterinos. Go aggro, boy. What are you thinking? I really don't mind. Like, if we're gonna both do it, then we should both do it. What's F-Pod thinking? Question mark. Because F-Pod likes to do some weird stuff, and I don't really know what he likes. So we should try and do what F-Pod is going to do. I think that's genuinely the right way to play. Usually just grab a TC. We can go hard if we want. Ooh, he's open. Okay. Well, we can do something aggro then. 1 TC for the funsies. Spam spears. So you're telling me I should stay home then? I should stay home with my temple or forward? I mean, I might draw the attention of everyone if we do that. We got a relic, Amble for Feistus. Alright, I'm going to start making my way home for my house and my temple a little bit later. No building tier list? At some point. I want to do the myth unit and hero tier list next. I don't know when that'll happen, but that's the next one for me, I think. I think I've got a lot of very, very interesting things to say about the way in which I value myth units. And that people generally misunderstand a myth unit, and that's why they think it's bad. For example, people misunderstand the Oni. But anyways, that's for another day. Temple over here. Let's go over here. Not sure. Probably the Ra is normally pretty free. Heimdall? Forseti? I think we go Forseti for speed, and I go into Berserks of some sort. I don't know.
Skipan something. Jeg vil. Tilbúin.
Skisa ég vil. Sjá, something ég vil. Sat.
Pato is advanced. Oh, I'm about to get beaten up by the bloody Heracles, right?
Tilbúin, já. Já, ég vil. Hver samþykkt?
Já, hver það? Veiðimaður.
Tilbúin, satt, já. Já, satt. Skip tilbúin. Hver það? Samþykkt. Já, ég satt. Samþykkt. Já, skip ég vil.
Já. Ég vil.
Tilbúin, satt. Hver þar? Satt. Já. Já, ég vil. Tilbúin, já.
Til skipan.
Satt.
Já, samþykkt.
Samþykkt.
Já.
Skipan.
Já. Samþykkt. Veiðimaður.
Okay.
Til samþykkt. Satt. Veiðimaður.
Tilbúin. Já. Ég satt. Já. Hver er þar? Tilbúin. Hver er þar? Satt.
All right. Let's get a dwarf in, since we have no.
Já. Ég vil. Samþykkt. Satt. Já. Ég vil. Já. Samþykkt.
Til ég vil.
Til satt. Ég já. Ég vil.
Já, satt.
Skip satt. Já. Ég samþykkt. Atrás.
Skip ég vil.
Ég vil.
Já, samþykkt grjóts.
Já. Samþykkt. Ádrás. Tilbúin.
Tilbúin. Skipan. Tilbúin. Já. Satt. Já. Ég vil. Hver er þar? Samþykkt. Satt. Já. Ég vil. Satt. Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Já.
Skip ég vil. Satt. Samþykkt.
Hver er það? Skipan. Satt. Tilbúin. Ég samþykkt. Já. Ég
Okay.
satt. Samþykkt. Já. Ég vil. Já. Satt. Ég já. Já. Ég já. Satt. Til orðuslag. Atrás.
Já.
Já. Já. Skip. Hver er ég vil. Til atrás. Til já. 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 Satt. Já. Ég já. Satt. Ég já. Satt. Ég já. Satt. Já. Ég satt. Hver er það? Til skip. Já. Samþykkt. Ég vil.
Tilbúin. Hver ég vil. Satt. Veiðimaður.
Tilbúin. Hver já. Satt. Ég já. Já. Satt. Ég vil. Satt. Já, til já, samþykkt, já, já, ég satt, já, skip, ég vil, satt, hver já, satt, samþykkt,
Tilbúin.
skip,
Veiðimaður.
tilbúin, ég já, satt, tilbúin, hver er samþykkt, til orrustuslag, skipan, já, ég samþykkt, já, já, satt, til hver er tilbúin, ég vil, já,
Okay.
satt. Samþykkt. Já, atrás. Já, til orrustuslag.
Samþykkt.
Skip, satt, já, satt. Já, samþykkt. Ég tilbúin. Hver er já, satt. Skipa, ég vil. Samþykkt. Já, ég vil. Já. Já, ég samþykkt. Já. Hver ég satt samþykkt. Ég vil. Satt, já. Tilbúin. Já, samþykkt. Hver ég vil. Satt. Já, ég vil. Satt. Já, samþykkt. Satt.
Hver er það?
Skip. Satt. Veiðimaður.
Okay. We get this.
Já, ég, já. Samþykkt. Hver er, já.
I have so much fucking favor. I don't know what to do with it.
Satt. Ég vil. Já. Tilbúin. Já. Skipa. Hver er það? Satt. Já. Ég, já. Satt. Já. Já. Ég vil. Já. Hver er þar? Til satt. Ég, já, ég vil, já, ég, já. Til hver er þar? Ég vil, já, ég vil. Hver er þar? Satt.
Já. Veiðimaður.
Já. Til ég, já, ég, já, já, ég, satt. Ég vil.
Tilbúin. Satt. Skip. Ég veiðimaður.
Tilbúin. Já. Já, ég vil, samþykkt, satt, tilbúin, skip, ég vil. Hver er þar? Já, ég vil. Já, ég vil. Til, já. Já, ég vil. Já, ég satt, já, satt. Ég vil. Já, satt, ég vil. Hver er þar? Já. Hver er þar? Ég samþykkt. Já. Satt. Já, samþykkt. Til já, skip. Ég, já. Satt. Já, ég samþykkt. Ég, já. Hver er þar? Ég vil. Skip samþykkt. Tilbúð, já.
I need to spend this fight. I want to get to the next age, like really badly, but I feel like I need to fight this Greek army.
Ég vil.
Tilbúið. Já, já, samþykkt. Skip. Ég samþykkt.
Hver er þar? Tilbúð, satt. Já. Ég vil. Já, samþykkt. Tilbúð.
Já, tilbúin. Já, ég vil.
Hver er það? Tilbúið. Satt. Já, ég vil. Já. Já. Ég samþykkt. Já. Ég samþykkt. Já. Ég vil. Samþykkt.
Okay.
Já. Já. Til orustuslag. Satt. Ég vil. Satt. Já. Satt. Ég vil. Satt. Ég, já. Til skip. Já. Hver er þar? Já. Ég satt. Já. Samt. Tilbúið. Ég satt. Já.
Já, ég vil. Grjótsveit.
Hver er það? Tilbúið. Samt. Ég vil. Já. Hver er það? Já. Satt. Ég vil. Tilbúin. Samt, já, satt. Hver er það?
Tilbúin. Skip. Ég, já, grjótsveit.
Tilbúin samþykkt. Grjótsveit.
Tilbúið. Hver, já,
Já,
samþykkt.
ég vil. Grjótsveit.
Ég skip hann. Hver samþykkt. Tilbúið.
Nice.
Já. Tilbúið. Hver er ég vil. Já, ég vil. Ég skip hann. Samþykkt. Til samþykkt. Já. Ég skip. Ég satt. Hver, já.
Já.
Hver er það? Ég vil. Grjótsveit.
Já. Ég vil. Ég, já, samþykkt. Já, satt. Til hver er það? Já. Tilbúið. Hver er það? Ég satt. Já, ég vil. Satt. Tilbúið. Samþykkt. Skip. Já, satt. Ég, já.
Hver er það? Tilbúin? Já.
Skipan. Satt.
Okay.
Grjótsveit.
Get over here. We get this tech.
Tilbúið. Ég vil. Atrás.
More battle boars. Do they have anything? No, they don't have anything to counter me here.
Fyrst samþykkt. Tilbúið. Já, ég satt. Já, ég satt. Samþykkt. Já, ég vil. Já, satt. Ég vil. Já.
Samþykkt.
Satt. Já.
Just try and get all my favors spent, and then we'll look to take a fight. Here, I think.
Já, skip. Ég vil. Hver er, já, ég satt. Tilbúið. Já, ég vil. Já,
Wait for these battle boar and then go.
hver er skip. Tilbúið. Já. Hver er þar?
Now we can take villages off of gold.
Samþykkt. Veiðimaður.
Til, já, satt. Ég vil.
Hver er það? Timbursveit. Já. Satt. Ég vil. Samþykkt.
Hver er tilbúið? Já. Satt samþykkt. Ég vil.
Ég samþykkt. Já, ég vil. Já.
Hver er það? Satt. Yes. Já, til orustuslag. Já, já.
Já, ég samþykkt. Já, ég samþykkt. Já, ég vil.
Samþykkt.
Ég vil. Já, ég samþykkt. Ég vil.
Yes, já, ég satt. Til orustuslag.
Ég vil. Já, atrás.
Samþykkt.
Já, ég vil.
Já,
I can't attack it.
Ég satt. Já. Ég samþykkt.
Skipa grjótsveit. Hver er það? Ég vil. Satt.
Satt. Ég samþykkt.
Ég satt, já. Ég samþykkt. Hver er þar? Ég vil. Tilbúin, já. Hver er það? Satt, já. Ég vil.
Hver er þar? Já. Skipan. Já.
Tilbúin. Samþykkt. Timbursveit. Ég samþykkt.
Já.
Já, ég vil. Hver er það? Satt.
Skip satt. Já. Atrás.
Ég vil. Ég vil. Skipan. Já. Veiðimaður. Hver er það?
Hver er það? Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Satt.
Veiðimaður.
Okay.
Já, ég vil. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Já. Tilbúin. Já.
Satt. Tilbúin.
Ég vil. Satt. Grjótsveit.
Já.
Hver er já? Skip til já. Ég vil. Hver já, já. Já, ég vil. Satt. Ég samþykkt. Skipan. Hver er já, já.
Já. Samþykkt.
Já.
Tilbúin. Ég vil. Búkard.
Ég vil. Satt. Já, ég vil. Já. Ég vil. Já, ég
Hver er
vil.
þar? Til timbursveit.
Tilbúin. Já, satt. Já, samþykkt. Ég vil. Já. Samþykkt. Hver er þar? Satt.
Tilbúin.
Tilbúin. Til orðuða. Já. Skip. Já. Ég samþykkt. Já. Satt. Ég tilbúin. Já. Satt.
Skipan.
Já. Tim.
Já. Satt. Já. Ég vil.
Já. Satt. Ég vil.
Skip tilbúin. Samþykkt. Hver er það? Já. Ég vil.
I don't know if I am going to be able to
Skipan.
sort of
Tilbúin.
keep
Samþykkt.
this going here.
Já. Ég.
Já.
I need
Tilbúin.
Sat Fat and
Já. Ég atrás.
Tilbúin.
Pato's got fucking
Samþykkt. Já. Satt. Já.
Tilbúin. Já.
that's just gonna die.
Já. Tim.
Let's come over here. There's my guy going.
Samþykkt. Ég vil. Já. Já.
All my guys are gonna die to a lightning storm. So
Satt. Ég vil. Skip. Já. Tilbúin. Já. Samþykkt. Já. Ég vil.
Samþykkt. Ég samþykkt. Já. Ég samþykkt.
Satt.
Já. Já. Ég já.
Já. Samþykkt.
Hver er það?
Skip. Já. Hver er það? Satt.
Satt. Ég
Hver
vil.
er það?
Satt. Skipan. Til samþykkt. Ég satt.
Hver? Já.
Já. Ég vil. Já.
Ég satt. Já. Já. Ég vil. Satt. Samþykkt. Já. Satt. Samþykkt. Satt. Já. Ég vil.
Ger vid. Samt jau. Tilbúin. Ger vid. Skipan.
Tilbúin. Skip, já. Samþykkt.
Já, samþykkt. Tilbúin. Ger samþykkt. Ger já. Ger vid.
Skipan. Ég vil.
Skipan. Samþykkt. Ég vil. Satt.
We might be just dead here, unfortunately.
Já, samþykkt. Ég, já.
We did not get enough
Fer ég, já, ég, já.
enough damage on our early game attack.
Já, ég, satt. Til orrustuslag.
Já.
Ég vil samt. Timbursveit. Já. Satt.
Hver er já?
Tilbúin. Ég vil skip. Já. Hver er það? Tilbúin. Ég vil. Hver er það? Já. Timbursveit.
Samþykkt. Tilbúin. Ég vil. Já. Satt. Andrá.
Orrustu já.
Skipan. Grjótsveit.
Ég vil samþykkt.
Já.
Close one. Fun game. Did he not use Lightning Storm? He didn't. He was holding on to it or something. Yeah, I played a team game. We almost got something here, but the shifting sands from Karma after the stupid forward town center grab into we have to sort of chase back here and then what? Maybe if I had Heimdall and we just went for the main base. With both these guys, everyone just went full boom. So we're playing sort of catch up. And I can play catch up kind of nicely with Loki, but Set can't. I think maybe if actually Satfat went par here, then he could have shifting sands my army onto the back town center. That would have been hype. Oh well. Next time you have to keep on thinking about the old team game strats. There's a butt ton you can try. But yeah, holding onto a shifting sands for hitting to counter the enemy shifting sands as an idea would have been quite nice. Oh well. All right, I think that's actually me done for tonight. It's midnight. So I'm going to head off. Thanks, everyone. I think I'm going to play anymore. I'll be back on tomorrow for the Satfat games. I'll also be on a little bit earlier playing some of my own games. So come say good day. I'm going to send you guys over to the Fat Man himself, Mr. Satfat. And I'll see you guys when I see you. I don't know. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.